The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Hold on. Y'all know me. I got to make sure all of my mess is right. Got to check my gains, audio level, so y'all can hear me crystal clear as I break down these facts, and that's what I'm doing now. So, all right, hold on. All right, test 1 2, test 1 2. Okay. Did I turn it down? Did I break something? Test. Oh Lord, I done tore my. I don't think I tore it up. Hold on. Test 1 2 3 4. Tests 1 2 3 4. Either way, we about to get into this because okay, welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is November the 30th, 2023, and I want to invite you to go to talkrealsolution.com, and there you will find the 3-point plan to Black empowerment and financial freedom. It has 3 points. The first point is to get together with like-minded people. The next point is to stop all unnecessary spending and save your money. The third point is, as a unit, invest or save your money in a verified and trusted institution. A great goal will be for you to open a Black-owned business. And right above the 3-point plan, you have a link to African American-owned banks and credit unions. We could all start moving our money to these institutions to start practicing group economics today. And check out the rest of the links and articles on talkrealsolution.com. If you want to follow along with the show tonight, you can follow along on YouTube. And all you have to do is type in Talk Real Solutions in the search engine there. And the channel is pretty rooted in the algorithm there. So it should pop up the Talk Real Solutions channel. Or if you want to participate in the show, all you have to do is call in to the number at 717-908-1834 and then hit the access code at 917324, and I'll open the mic and get you involved in the conversation that we have going on here. And I know it's been a long hiatus. I haven't been on here because of the holiday season and all of that kind of stuff, and family members coming in and coming out and all of this kind of stuff. And it's funny because I think I was talking to Howard the other day, and he was mentioning having a conversation with somebody about Thanksgiving, and reminded me all the rigmarole we used to have over the holidays about whether people who are non-believers participated in the holidays or not. And it reminded me that, because these people are so rooted in their belief system, that other people can't do things and have their own meaning of it without subscribing to their philosophy, and it was just a reminder of how crazy of a world we live in and how dumb some of these people are that walk around on this planet that think that everything is about them and their belief systems. It was just a reminder of what the conversations we used to have. What's up, Frodo? So I'm back, and let me check this audio one more time, make sure. So yeah, I'm back. You listen, I don't have anything to talk about. Y'all know me. I have been mainly paying attention to politics. But I seen this story about Will Smith. I don't know if you guys uh I, I don't know if you guys been paying attention to Will Smith and all the drama that surrounds his life now after the Chris Rock fiasco where he slapped Chris Rock live on and an awards presentation. But now there's some other stuff going on with him, and this man, I don't know what's true and what's not true, and all of this kind of stuff. Now they're saying that he was in some type of gay relationship with someone, and the guy walked in on him in the process of 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 him in the act. Now, I don't believe it's true. I don't know if it's not true. If that's the way that people live, that's the way people live. But I guess the overall point I'm trying to make is, social media is something else, because if it's a negative message out there, it spreads like wildfire. It just you can't stop it. And the person in this instance with the gasoline can and the matches and the means to set the fire is once again Tasha K. So right there, when something coming from Tasha K, uh, I have to pause and reconsider the information that I'm receiving. Because that's a person that got sued and in court admit that she lied to her audience, right? And she's manipulating people to get views and popularity. Um, and even if that story is true, it ain't none of my business. Um, why my community wants to make a big to do about this is crazy, but that's just the way we've always been. You hear something salacious, next thing you know, you're spreading that rumor and you're running around gossiping and all of these things. So it's just, let me see if I can Google that story. Uh okay, so here's a news stories from the Los Angeles Times. I mean, this thing got out of control, whatever the rumor is. Um, and like I said, people with money do crazy things, and if that's one of the crazy things that man wanted to do was get rammed out, it ain't none of my business. If you one of them people like ABC that is secretly getting ran up in, you know, that's your business. You don't. We don't need to have a big old conversation about it because I really believe that that's what that boy's problem is, and that's why he's so anti homosexual. Something happened in that boy's life to where he just got to constantly bring up the transgender and AB and the LBGTQ and all of these things. You too focused on that, you know. But like I said, in social media, this story was running around for a little while, and it caught my eye, and I was like, "What the hell is really going on with Will Smith?" You know, I seen that he lost control and slapped Chris Rock. That was kind of weird to me, you know, because we all know Chris Rock is a comedian and he's telling jokes, and he didn't say anything harmful to Jada Pinkett. He just told a joke about G.I. Jane and her having short hair, or you know, her hair cut close, and that bothered this man so much that he wanted to get up, ruin his reputation, get angry, act like a nigga. You know, they say once we get money and established, these millionaires is who we supposed to take after. We supposed to conduct ourselves like Bill Cosby and Will Smith. That's how we supposed to act. You know, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith have a 2-parent home, right? And you know, he was acting like a nigga and got up and hit that man for no reason, making himself look like a damn nigga. And he pretty much ruined his reputation. And I can say that Will Smith, in my opinion, is a great actor. Was in my opinion, but I don't support his work anymore. I'm not saying that he's lost his talent or nothing. It was just whenever whenever I look at actors and stuff in movies, it's not only the character on the screen that you know, that's important to me. It's the person that is portraying that character and what are they about. You know, like a Denzel Washington. You know, I ain't heard no salacious stuff about him. He's a good representation of a black man and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I support his work. And then up until that slap, you know, when Will Smith did Muhammad Ali and Venus and Serena, I don't know if that was after, but no, yeah, that was after. But he did other movies. Him and his son did a space movie. I thought it was pretty good. That didn't get the notoriety that it should. So I thought that this is a pretty good guy, you know. But now after the slap, and then here come gossipy Tasha K dragging somebody in the interview to do the same damn thing that she did to Cardi B. Slander people, defame people. Probably gonna wind up in the courtroom again getting sued. But Will Smith is the target, him and his family, of Tasha K's idiocy this time. And listen, nobody's gonna get to the bottom line of this rumor because nobody was there. And the person making the claim, I don't think anybody know anything about his credibility, right? We just seen this man interview and saying that this is the position that he worked in. Jada Pinkett Smith verified that he did work there, but that doesn't make his claims valid. You know, due to some people, because of the proximity that he was to that family, it don't take nothing but that to give validity to that guy for some people, but I need more than that. So let's see what this article said. I didn't even read on it. I was just looking at some YouTube videos saying it. They would mention it, and I flick to the next one. I would say, because you know how people like to do, just like I'm doing now, drag out their videos before they get to the point. Well, I can't watch those videos. Get to the point. All right. unlike what I'm doing. Okay, it says Will Smith rejects sex allegations by former friend, and Jada says they may sue. See right there, Tasha K is looking for some trouble again from the Smiths. Will Smith rep says new allegations that the Oscar-winning winner caught having sex with the actor Dwayne Martin is unequivocally false. Jada Pinkett Smith declares we suing when paparazzi and reporters swarmed her as she getting into a car in New York City. And Martin apparently isn't going to dignify this situation with an answer. So the other person in the thing, he's not even commenting on it. And the Smiths are saying that they're going to sue. And this next paragraph is exactly what Tasha K wanted, because now the LA Times is reporting with Tasha K name in the story. And that's all she's looking for. So the story sparked Monday night after the YouTuber Tasha K tweeted a tease to an upcoming Unwind with Tasha K interview with brother Bilal, a man who said he's a former assistant and close friend to Will Smith. Will Smith will wish this interview never happened. And that sounds like some shit Tasha K would say to tease the video and prepare herself to get sued again. The text accompanying the highlighted video said, this is one of the closest people to Will Smith aside from Jada to sit down and tell all about him from meeting Jada, Tupac, Will's sexuality and manhood size. He knows and tells it all. Okay, so why is your career based on the sexual habits of celebrities? I know that it's salacious and people want to hear it, but you make it your goal to find out, or not even find out, just accuse Cardi B of having a sexually transmitted disease and doing all these things. And then now it's all about what went in Will Smith's anus. And that's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me that you will build on your career off of the same type of material that you got sued over and admitted to the court and the world that you lie to get this type of material, right? But once Bilal dishes on many of those topics, he goes a step further. And then I saw sexual act. One, I walked in, Bilal says in a teaser, talking about what he said he experienced while working on Team Smith. Who'd you walk in on? Tasha K asks. Him and Dwayne Martin. So now you're dragging another name into your accusations and, you know, getting more and more people to, I don't know, watch your videos by these celebrities being popular and you're saying this type of stuff. Bilal says from before describing what he allegedly saw happening between the Oscar-winning A-lister and the LA's finest actors. Let me process that for a second, Tasha K says. Then Bilal adds a graphic alleged detail. Okay then, the host says calmly, and the teaser concludes. Will Smith's rep was blunt Tuesday when giving a statement to TMZ, calling the story completely fabricated and unequivocally false, included an unnamed source, allusion to a legal action to be considered Then Wednesday morning, the same celebrity gossip outlet caught Jada Smith on camera leaving the iHeart offices in Manhattan between the building doors and her car while talking on the cell phone. The Red Table Talk co-host popped off with "We Suing" compliment to the Republic to the reporters and paparazzi when who were gathered around her looking for a reaction. And Dwayne Martin isn't saying anything, apparently on principle, according to TMZ. However, his ex-wife Tisha Campbell laughed off similar allegations years ago. Well, he was married to Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell was Gina on Martin. I didn't know they was married. Our theory is that it's really a slave mentality. Whenever black community has a leader, potential leaders, or a family unit, we emasculate them. Campbell told the Essence magazine. Now she on point. She is on point, and I could not have put it any plainer than what she said there, because that's what goes on throughout our entire community. Whenever you look at people like Tasha K, Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, the Red Pill, Manosphere, Sonetta TV, the pro-black conscious community, that whole genre, black YouTube, if you will, it's like a slave mentality. It's like a dog eat dog. And they searching for something to drag somebody down. You don't have to, and there is a difference between having evidence and facts and presenting those evidence and facts compared to what's going on here with Tasha K. And the reason that you say that, you say, well, Tyrone, the guy worked for Will Smith, so isn't that evidence enough? Well, from my perspective, what conditions did he leave that employment? Is he disgruntled? Did him and the Smiths have some type of disagreement? Is money owed between the parties? You know, you got to consider all of that before you consider what his word is. And is he willing to present evidence to prove his allegations, right? Besides your memory, in this type of situation, you got to do better than that. Because you're talking to hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions of people, and whenever you make these type of allegations based off of what you recollect, that just isn't evidence, you know. And I'm sorry, and I know some people are gonna say that's bullshit, but it's not, because that becomes a he said, she said. And then a he said, she said in a court, then, you know, it's a toss up, right? So yeah, I mean, it's like a slave mentality, and people just crabs in a barrel and trying to just find dirt and say whatever they can to try to discredit the other people. And like I said, Will Smith was on the ropes already with that with that Chris Rock incident, right? So he's already on the ropes. So people love to punch down, and it's easy. He's an easy target, right? Now this is just me, and none of what I'm saying is correct. But y'all know me, I'm Tyrone, and 9 times out of 10, I'm on point. But I digress. So let's continue here. Where were we at? Whenever the black community has leaders, potential leaders, or a family unit, we emasculate them, Campbell told Essence magazine in 2007. You don't ever see them do Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. they can be friends and powerful individuals, or collectively do amazing things. The lady is on point. Martin added, it's a brat pack when it comes to white people. And wait a minute, it's a brat pack when white people do it. Meanwhile, the Root pointed out on Wednesday that Tasha K, real name Latasha Kebe, is no stranger to legal actions, writing, "This is the same woman who was embroiled in a legal battle with the rapper Cardi B for years and now having to pay $4.25 million as a result of losing her defamation lawsuit. In 2018, Tasha K posted more than 20 videos with a woman who said she knew Cardi B before she hit it big, and the Grammy winning rapper, real name Bel Kalis Al Manzar, used cocaine, contracted herpes, engaged in prostitution. Cardi B sued in federal court in 2019 and won her case in January 2022, with Tasha K appeal rejected this past March. Listen, this is a mirror image. The Cardi B example is a mirror image of what Tasha K has just done to Will Smith. Witness and all. Interview and all. Right? Tasha K grabbed somebody that she said was in Cardi B's life. She sat her down on her podcast or whatever, interviewed her, got all of these salacious details about Cardi B from this person. And when they went to court, that person she interviewed wasn't considered evidence, wasn't considered proof. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying earlier about this guy's recollection is just not enough, right? Because even though Cardi B presented to her, Tasha K presented to her audience that the person she was interviewing knew Cardi B and experienced these things with Cardi B and said all these things about Cardi B that wasn't coming from Tasha K's mouth, right? It was coming from the person she was interviewing's mouth. But of course, once the person she's interviewing said, Tasha K repeated it. And she hammered down on the points that she was bringing in, and she put that forward as evidence, right? Because that person interviewed, and it's the same situation with this Will Smith allegation. She grabbed somebody that used to be in their circle. She set them down for an interview. This person is saying salacious things about the Smiths and actually seeing Dwayne, whoever his name is, and Will Smith do certain things. But that's not evidence. These people on social media that listen to these podcasts don't have the common sense of a fucking ant when it comes to following their social media celebrities. Because Tasha K is a star to them. She's got all kinds of subscribers. She's hobnobbing with the fucking celebrities and all this kind of stuff. So to them, she's somebody, and what she say matter to them. So they're going to spread these lies about these celebrities because Tasha K is trash and she don't give a shit about telling the truth. She ain't no better than Fox News when it comes to this type of shit, because she's just out there spreading shit to get views on social media. And like I said, this is a mirror image of what she did to Cardi B, because number one, she had an interview with a person in that person's circle, right? She interviewed that person, and that person is saying bad things about the celebrity, and she's moving forward with that conversation as evidence and then defaming the celebrity, which is the same exact thing that happened here. All right. We lost the appeal against Cardi B. Sad day, but I'm going to be all right. The YouTuber wrote in March on Instagram, I appreciate all your love and support Throughout this fight today, we throw in the white flag. What happened will never happen again. Okay, that's a lie. To Cardi and her team, I apologize sincerely. We live and we learn. Talk about a check by mouth can't catch, she wrote in the in the caption. Tasha K was perhaps being literal with the last part. In June, she filed for bankruptcy, and then the full unwind interview with Brother Bilal is supposed to be posted online Wednesday evening. I guess this is an old article. Let me see what the date is on here. Yeah, November the 15th. This is November the 30th. So I'm pretty sure. Well, I know they did the interview because I think I seen clips on YouTube. But here we go again. You know, and that's part of the reason that I titled the show. Y'all know when I title my shows, I got a meaning behind it. And I put breaking news, water is wet. You know, this is obvious. That's all that cliche mean. That's all that saying mean is it's obvious where this is going, right? That's why I title this show. When it comes to certain things, there's no explanation. The only explanation you can give is that the people that follow this stuff, and here I am talking about it, but I'm trying to talk about it from a perspective with, you know, logic, if you will, and not really, you know, follow the conspiracy or the rumor or whatever, unless you get evidence and proof and you know, either the Smiths or the other guy that's being accused come out and say you know, something happened or something did not happen. Of course, they're denying it. Okay, even if something did happen between those guys and they haven't admitted it, you can't go forward accusing them of it, right? Because you don't have the parties involved admitting it. You can't go off of a rumor and go forward with these type of defaming accusations about people. You just can't do that, right? You can't do it. Just like when no, I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. Just like when Sarge came on here and admitted out of his mouth what he did. You know, he said it. You know, I don't do that, but I just want to use that as an example. And when people attack him with that stuff, you know, I mean, hell, it ain't like it was third hand news. You know, you said what you said, and people is throwing it back up in your face. But with Will Smith and this other guy and this Bilal guy, you know, that's like secondhand news. You know, you can't go forward with that stuff. And I hope the Smiths find a way to either put Tasha K in her place or just finally put the nail in the coffin of Tasha K and her conducting herself like this. Because, guys, when it's all said and done, it's a bad representation of the community. Everybody was entertained when Tasha K came on the scene, and she was so loud and boisterous and just telling it like it is and all of that kind of stuff. She was entertaining. She's got a way of presenting herself that keeps you locked in, if you will. You know, and her whole marketing with the unwind and the winos and all of that kind of stuff is catchy, right? And not only is her marketing catchy, she's a pretty charismatic lady, and she listened to it. But I'm just saying you should use that power differently. You know, I'm not the boss of anybody, but you should, if you got that type of a power, then you should probably use it differently than misleading people. Same thing I say about Watkins and Umar Johnson and others on social media. If you got that type of power and you got to stoop to those levels, then that's just like Tisha Campbell said, it's a result of slave mentality. You know, I used to go into the history of black people. I repeated it so much that I was thinking that you know, people got tired of me saying it, but the truth is, Tisha Campbell just reminded me of the things I used to say about how Europeans invaded Africa, right? They invaded Africa in the 1800s, 1600s, and we don't know what Africans was doing because I don't think it was documented that well. I mean, you have the dynasties of Egypt that probably predates that stuff, but the rest of Africa, the West Coast and all that kind of stuff, I think, you know, we don't know exactly what they was doing. People like to assume what they was doing, but whenever the Europeans and the Muslims invaded Africa and captured our ancestors and disrupted the natural evolution of our people, that fucked with us, right? And I'm saying that, and I'm going back to Africa because when we got over here with the transatlantic slave trade, we know that there's a written history of how our mentality was screwed with through religion, through lying on us, and them painting the white man as better than us, and them painting us as being subservient to them, and we having to fight with each other and all that kind of stuff to prove ourselves, right? That we was better than the next slave. So I could be recognized by the white man. We had to fight with each other so we could prove to ourselves that I'm better than him, massa. Look at me. That's the type of mentality that was going on. Now y'all said, Tom, what the fuck you talking about? Well, just look at Tasha K. And who's the white man in this situation? You look at the entertainment industry, right? We got to tear down other black people to say, look at me, master, I'm better than them. Notice me. And that's why I say Tisha Campbell was 100% right. When the Europeans invaded Africa and brought us over here, King Leopold and the Berlin Conference and all of those, and that history there just did something to our people, and it just was on steroids when it got to the United States of America, and we began or became property of other people, because now the European wasn't in Europe anymore. The European was on this land separated from Europe, and they could basically create their own existence, doing whatever they want to do, killing Native Americans, damn near wiping out buffalo populations, and chopping down the indigenous people demographics in this country to damn near 3%. I don't know what it is now, but I know it's really low. And while we were under their foot, there was a whole lot of mental reprogramming getting done. And that trauma, believe it or not, and people don't want to admit it, has been genetically passed on through a process called epigenetics, right? Look it up. I think that's when trauma can change your DNA, and that can be genetically passed on. And some of that stuff may manifest itself in how we treat each other as Black people in America nowadays, right? People talk about the crime in the Black community. They talk about the fatherless homes. They talk about single mothers. They talk about, trying to get over on each other. But if you look at us trying to respond to another community, all of a sudden we straighten up our act. And we treat them differently, right? But when it comes to us, we're gonna tear each other down, just like Tasha K was doing to Cardi B and Will Smith and other Black people, right? And then it manifests itself in a different way, where we try to steal and rob from each other. Just like the Bushwhackers creating the financial institutions for our community that never manifests itself. The Umar Johnsons promising a school for Black boys that never manifests itself. And just different ways that this trauma that has been passed on as a result of slavery, in my opinion, that causes us to just go at each other like this, just ruthlessly and tear each other down. And I think Tisha Campbell was right. She was 100, and I know I'm staying stuck on that point because that's where I used to be at when in these conversations, trying to wake people up and tell each other that we can do better. We can get along better than what we do. We can actually have conversations to embolden one another and build each other up, right? But that's not what happens. And it manifests itself differently. If you think about Talk Real Solutions, the history here was about one Black person getting on this line, cussing out another Black person on this line, and tearing that Black person down, and then pulling some type of salacious detail and yelling and cussing, and next thing you know, it gets so bad that Talk Real Solution get a strike. These people threaten to kill each other, right? It manifests itself in different ways. This trauma that we has passed on through slavery. So when I see these stories that Tasha K is doing about these celebrities, and currently it's Will Smith, I know people want to get into it. Was that true? Did that really happen? But why? Why do we want to know? Right? What good is it going to do? Let's just say, for example, and I'm not saying that it is. Let's just say, for example, that it is true. Now what? Let's just say, for example, that both of those men come out and say, this has happened between us, and this is the way we are. What will that do for you personally? right? Now, let's say, for example, that it ain't true. What you gonna do then? You gonna cry? Are you gonna hold Tasha K responsible? Now, see, that's what needs to be done. That's what needed to get done when she got found guilty or liable in the Tasha K in the Cardi B situation. There should have been some type of accountability and retribution to her reputation, and she should have been pushed to the side and said, you're not a reliable source for information. You're using lies and defamation to become popular by exploiting people. You should be pushed aside. But did that happen? Clearly not, because here we go again. Water is fucking wet. What does it take for people to start actually pushing these people aside that mislead, misinform, lie, defame, and use our community to come up? What does it take to push these people aside? I mean, we got example after example. Look at Brother Polite, who was this black community leader about ancient Egypt. The black woman is God. We were once kings and queens. And he is the leader that has the answers, influenced a lot of young people to reach into their pocket, right? Make these real estate deals. Give him money out of the black community. And then when it's all said and done, allegedly, he's been locked up for doing things with a minor. There's this other guy that was real estate. What was that black real estate guy name? I can't think of his name to save my life. And people used to put him. What the hell was that guy name? I'm gonna get his damn name because now I want to know. I'll come up with it. He was on social media. Okay, I'll have to come up with his name. And if you guys know his name, just type it in the chat room. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That shit, I can't think of his name to save my life. But that guy, he was lying to people about him being a realtor and showing them how to make money and all of this, right? And people did not push him to the side and say, you're a liar. You're deceiving us. And then what just popped in my head is the breakfast. Jay Morrison, that's him. Jay Morrison. Yeah, people didn't push it. He's still running around here taking people money. And what popped into my head when I'm talking about real estate is you looking at the Breakfast Club, who's got Charlemagne the God on there, who's got all kind of crazy accusations. Allegedly, he popped some Molly's into a teenager's drink back in the day, and they did what they did, allegedly, you know, and he's still on the Breakfast Club. And the Breakfast Club got this guy now, DJ Envy, right? God damn it, water is wet. Water is fucking wet. It is obvious that these people are bullshitting our community. DJ Envy done got caught up in these oh Lord, I ain't seen this one 11 hours ago. Now, I ain't seen the Rico stuff. Hold on, let me click on this. DJ Envy and Cesar Pena sued under civil RICO violations and New Jersey Consumer Fraud Act. Now, I didn't know that he was getting sued up under RICO in New Jersey. All I'd heard about was him and Cesar Pena with the real estate scam, the property scam that they was pulling. But this is new, so we're going to learn this together. DJ Envy and Cesar Pena have been named in a new lawsuit over their real estate business practices. In court documents obtained by All Hip Hop, Envy and Pena are being sued by Derek D'Angelo, Champlain Group, Real Estate Venues, LLC, and Respect Development, LLC. The suit claims state the two men used their flipping New Jersey seminars as funnels to draw in victims to their real estate scams. The lawsuit includes violations of New Jersey's Consumer Fraud Act, a breach of contract in the civil RICO violations, fraudulent transfers, and more. The plaintiffs are seeking a jury trial and request $2 million in damages. During the private consultations and meet and greets, members of the Pena network attempted to size up the financial resources of each attendee and solicited individuals with sufficient high net worth to partner with Pena and DJ Envy and other members of the network in the real estate joint venue. The document reads, during these meetings, Pena offered his personal consulting services wherein he made himself available for one-on-one private meetings with the guests at his office at a flat rate, fees ranging from $1,500 to $2,500 per meeting. Jesus Christ, people are stupid. People are stupid. Why are you going to pay $1,500 to meet with people? Water is fucking wet. This is what I'm saying when I say it's the slave mentality. Pena and Envy know that $1,500 to meet with somebody is fucking over fucking priced, right? And they know if they offer a lie to people about how rich they are and put on this persona of them being successful at this lie, that they can steal $1,500 to $2,500 from people that look like you and I to meet with them for a fucking lying meeting. This is stupid. And why are y'all so fucking stupid? Why are these people so dumb? Water is fucking wet. It's obvious, guys. You can read more of the court documents here. Let's see what they. I'm clicking. I like to open the links to see if there's actually a court document. Well, this is another argument, another article, but whatever. Okay, so I'll go back to the other one. Recently, DJ Envy's co-host Charlamagne the God spoke with the Rap Radar podcast and revealed that he would keep the show going if Envy is no longer a part of the crew. Somebody need to get on Charlamagne the God's ass. Why do we need these people? Why do they need to be the face of our community? Why do you have crooks, rapists, con artists, and felons and people that stomp all over our fucking community? Why do we need them to be the face of our community? People need to get rid of Charlamagne the God. I know this ain't about him. We're talking about Envy. And the Breakfast Club, I don't know who owns it. But to me, they know what buttons to push when it comes to the black community. And they know who to put out there and people who... let me see who owns the Breakfast Club. Because, I mean, it's got to be... some crazy media group or something. Premier Networks, a subsidiary of Clear Channel Communications. I knew it was some big ass goddamn communications network, Clear Channel, that owned the Breakfast Club. And okay, so I'm gonna get back over. I know I'm all over the place. Where you at? The Breakfast Club is bigger than any of us as individuals. Yeah, right. Shala said, they call him Shala. I've always felt like that. He added, if you felt like that, motherfucker, you should have left after that accusation from that young lady down here in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. If you thought it was bigger than any of you, you know, that's just not true. He added, I've never felt like the Breakfast Club was just a show about three individuals. That's always, shut the fuck up. I can't even stand reading nothing from this guy. But my point back on DJ Envy, and I think DJ Envy is Hispanic. I don't know. Let me see. I can't tell no more, y'all. So I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Let's see who is American disc jockey, native of Queen. Let's see if he got his parents in here. I don't know. And that's crazy. This androgynous look that people have. I may be I may be wrong for saying this, but I just can't tell. I do know that he's a person of color. He could be like Indian or, you know, Arab or something. I don't know. But if you're raised in New York, right? So his wife is Angie Martinez. If you're raised in New York and you are a person of color, you always get that way about you that's African American, you know. So it looked like he's some type of Hispanic background. But that doesn't matter. He's lying to our community. He's stealing from our community. Just like the other people that I named, the Tasha K's, the Umar Johnsons, the Jay Morrison, and all of these people. You constantly see them people over and over and over and over again. And you don't see that particular person over and over and over again. You see some type of new iteration of that person over and over again. Kevin Smith, or whatever his name was, the guy that passed away having sex with the type of woman that he critiqued other guys about for being with. That Kevin, whatever his name was, Kevin Samuels. You know, you see these other different iterations of these people who's got this snake oil that they're trying to push to our community. And don't get me wrong, I love our community, but and I understand why certain things get pushed to our community, because we are who we are. We are very animated. We get into it and we give our opinion on it, and I get all of that, right? But I'm just saying, if you're going to sell that to our community, sell something that's going to make us better, and not stay in this whole mindset of gossiping and talking about other people and bringing our own community down and all this kind of stuff. Sell something that is going to be a message to our community, so we won't be harming each other, right? Sell something that is not going to cause us to go home and mistreat our children and leave home and just sell something that is going to make us a better community. But no, they have to, like I said, try to appease to massa and step on the other one, the crabs in the barrel, and make sure that they bring you down so they can be seen like Tasha K. She want to bring Cardi B down with all of these accusations of sexual diseases and blah, 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 and she did this and did this. She wanted to tear that woman down so she could wave to the massa and say, look at me. I just bought this person of color down, right? And here she go again, trying to step on Jada Pinkett and Will Smith and say, look, this black guy is saying that these other two black guys was caught doing this act. I'm bringing them down. Look at me, massa. Slave mentality. Now, like I said, it's a different iteration because of what year we're in. We're in 2023, but it's the same old story. It's the same old story. Even though this is social media, it's the same old freaking story of us tearing each other down. Ever since they invaded Africa and started leaving some of us on the shore and taking some of us on the boat, we was always trying to fight each other and make sure that we weren't the ones that they were going to whip. We weren't the ones that was going to die. You know, so you grin, you smile, you dance, you sing, you shuffle and jive, right? People say that ain't what it is, but that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Listen to the goddamn Breakfast Club. That's exactly what it is. Look at Tariq Nasheed's show. That's exactly what it is. Tearing this black man down, or tearing these black politicians down, shucking and jiving. That's exactly what it is. Look at me, massa. I done called this one out. What do I get? Do I get any more AdSense, massa? Do I get any more ad revenue, massa? Do I get any more popularity? Do I get any more views, any more likes, massa? You see? I know y'all like, Tyrone, you crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy because that's exactly what is going on. Instead of us being serious about politics, we're going to tear the idea of becoming politically powerful down. Instead of us being serious about the news that goes on in our community and harms us, we want to waste time with Will Smith had a penis in his booty. Instead of us being serious, we want to talk about that stuff. I want y'all to look at what is going on in Washington, D.C. right now today. These same people that came to the shores of Africa and drug us from there, enslaved us and reprogrammed our minds to cause us to go against each other. I want y'all to see how they're governing right now. Rudy Giuliani, New York's mayor, accused of crimes. All of these politicians, Jenna Ellis, a lawyer, accused of crimes. Donald Trump, a former president of the United States, accused of 90 plus crimes. The Republican Party has become extremist and racist, and half of them are criminals. George Santos is a criminal, stealing from his constituents to become a member of Congress. The list goes on and on. And don't forget about that Munez guy who's a Democrat, or whatever his fucking name is, a criminal. While we over here looking at Will Smith and what he got in his booty hole, they over here unable to govern, stealing our tax dollars, not giving the constituency the time of day. And oh, by the way, the planet is fucking dying. And nobody gives a crap about that. But they got us over here talking about all this other crap instead of becoming politically educated and learning this system. They don't want you to learn the system. As a matter of fact, their system, they don't use themselves when they're in trouble. Clarence Thomas, he and his damn wife committed crimes against the Constitution using their positions, right? What's the other name? Alito, Supreme Court Justice. We watched Donald Trump nominate all of these three Supreme Court justices who said that they would not take away people's rights. They would not go against precedents. As soon as they got in the damn office, that's what the fuck they did. They took away Americans' rights. But we over here talking about Will Smith and all of this kind of crap. Right? It is crazy. It is beyond me how in this age right here, how people just don't get it. And I'm frustrated. And that's why I said water is wet, is because it is obvious what these people are doing. It is clear that the white man who destroyed the planet, who invaded Africa, who ruined the societies historically, don't know what the hell he's doing. Do not know how to govern. And I said it and I said it again, when Barack Obama was the president, that was the best administration in the history of this country. When Michelle Obama was the first lady, that was the best first lady in the history of this freaking country. That family represented greatness. When Bill Clinton was up there, what do we hear? Monica Lewinsky being up under the president's desk. When George Bush was up there, what do we hear? Him screwing up the economy. Dick Cheney taking over the military-industrial complex, right? And we don't have to go through the list of what Donald Trump did to this country to tear down democracy. It is the European male, the criminals that got kicked out of Europe, that came over here and somehow or another made themselves in power by stealing and killing each other and killing other people. They still have that same mentality of violence and taking shit that don't belong to them. And that's what you see in that ratchet ass Lauren Boebert, in that ratchet ass Marjorie Taylor Greene, and all of these. They just racist and ratchet and Republican. That goes right along with them damn R's. Racist, ratchet, Republicans. But that's what you see is the mentality of these criminal Europeans that came over here and they started governing. They're unintelligent. They don't want to learn. They don't give a crap about anything but they white Jesus. And even whenever it comes to their white Jesus, they try to rewrite the rules and the doctrine to fit them. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. Because I said it before, black people are the most Christian people on the damn planet. And if there's one thing that we do know is that fucking book, you know, and we're more Christian than any evangelical on this damn planet. I can guarantee you that. That's a fact. But my point is, we follow it more than they do, and they don't give a shit about following it. Because look at how they treat the damn Mexicans at this. Well, I'm gonna call them people that's crossing the southern border. Look at how they're trying to take away the social safety net when it comes to food stamps, health care, and Social Security. Look at how they don't give a crap about this planet dying because of profits from the big industries like the oil companies and stuff like that. Look at how they don't give a crap about humanity when it comes to conducting these these inhumane wars and blowing other people up to pieces. They don't care. They're not Christians. They're just the same savage people that invaded fucking Africa. And then they put a nice little shine on it. And then they fool us by getting on TV and saying all this dumb shit that they think that nobody can't see through. Because I see through all of it. So listen, I'm gonna shut up. I know I've been on this line a long time, and I don't know where I went. Because I don't have. I don't stop dancing for your Democrat master, Jermaine, please. I ain't thinking about no Democrats. What's happening, Jermaine, Miss Elisa, and Black Henry, and Frodo? But I ain't dancing for no Democrat. Now listen, when you say that, I will vote for the Democrat. I will vote for the Democrat because I want to vote for progressive politics compared to regressive politics because I want this country to move forward. And the only time that I've noticed that this country is moving forward is when there's a Democrat in charge in the White House. That's the only time that policies get passed. So if you're saying that me voting for the Democrats is somehow terrible, then I'll take that on the chin because I seen how the Republicans govern. I seen that with the Republicans in charge that they do take away rights. They don't care about affirmative action. Remember, they took that away. They don't care about progressive politics. They don't care about this planet. And they actually give money to the wealthy. That's one of the first thing Donald Trump did. As a matter of fact, I think Donald Trump shut down the government in order to get tax cuts for the rich. And people like dumbass Sarge is an idiot. And people probably believe me. But people like dumbass Sarge say that the tax cuts for the rich somehow or another financially benefited him. How dumb can you be? Sarge, if you're listening, water is fucking wet. Water is wet. And there go that stupid ass ABC who was programmed by these people to literally take horse medicine. ABC, listen, there is no discussion, no logical discussion that you and I could ever have about politics because you allow them people in politics to tell you to take horse medicine. Please stop. Yes, I will vote for the Democrats. I will vote for the Democrats all day long compared to voting for Republicans. And you told me that you don't even vote. So shut the fuck up. Let me see if there's anybody on here. Okay. Oh yeah, look like Miss Elisa here. What's up, Miss Elisa? How you doing tonight? Hello. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Elisa, can you hear me? Oh Lord Jesus. Maybe and maybe she walked away. But yeah, dummy. ABC's got to be the biggest dummy that there is. ABC is the same individual, the same compromised Negro that will come on here and try to force black people to listen to Tucker Carlson. Force black people to listen to the same people that invaded Africa and I've been trying to think of a new way to say this word without YouTube doing something to me, so I'm going to try to say this right here. No, I can't. I'm good. But he's the same people that would try to get these people that invaded Africa, uh, traumatized our community, took our names, force fed us some bullshit religion, made us believe in a white Jesus. These are the same people. And then long as he shuck and jive and then shift his feet and same wade in the water, he's happy. And take the COVID, take the horse pills, he's happy. I can't fuck with a black man like that. I mean, you good, you cool people. I'll talk to you, but taking you seriously at any point in time is beyond me. I just can't because you're not serious. You are not serious. The entire coronavirus debate, this man would come in here yelling and screaming, right? About some crap that some quack done said that don't have any type of credentials, that does not that have any type of proof. He would yell and scream with Renee about that. He would yell and scream at the audience about that. He would yell and scream at the flies in his house about it. I mean, he was just that fucking possessed with what his master was saying. You couldn't even talk any sense into him. And at the meanwhile, our community was being mostly affected by this virus. Let me see. Elisa called back. Elisa, are you there? I heard you push a button. I'm about to send Elisa some Samsung headphones.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. What's happening, sis?
Okay, yeah, my earphones is messing up. I had to take them off. I had to call back, got cut off. But am I coming through? I'm just using regular earphones today.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you
you
coming
can
in
hear me
clear.
well. Okay, good. I have to buy me some more wireless earphones. This is sickening. But I'm here. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. You enjoy your turkey day?
Yeah, we didn't do much.
Mm,
Just ate and sat and binge watch television. Wasn't much else to do. It's
mm.
just the holidays just came and went. Oh, but I want to help you out. You asked about DJ Envy. What was his ethnicity, nationality? He identifies as black.
Oh, he does.
So, uh, yeah, I've heard him say it many times. He identifies as black. And I saw a picture of his mother and father. So they look like, he light skinned his mother and him. So, but he
Mm.
identifies as a black person. His mom, his wife, now she's like, Spanish and some other stuff all mixed up. But he identifies as black. And when you were speaking of the Jada Pinkett and Will Smith and Natasha K,
Yeah.
uh, when the media had caught up with what's her name, Jada Smith, when they Jada Pinkett Smith coming outside of the studios because she did the Breakfast Club that day, and she had spoke on it that the guy who worked for them, she didn't say much. She just said that he was trying to extort money from them before the ending of his their business relationship or whatever it was. That there was an extortion thing going on trying to get money, and then now he's doing this. I think that's why that they're saying that they're going to sue. So so we have to see how that goes. But yeah, I was disappointed in Tasha K doing that because she introduced the guy as a friend of Will Smith. That's such a friend that would do that. And Tasha K just a month back. I don't follow her. Only time I used to listen to her, but then I don't care for her style. So then I left her alone. But when that whole mess was going on with
Cardi
Brother
B.
Polite,
Oh, brother polite. Yeah, yeah,
no
yeah,
brother,
yeah. Yeah, that's when
when
she really took off.
brother,
Yep.
yeah, when that whole mess was going on with Brother Polite, because she was the one that wrote that, to the internet, and she was able to get the information. Then I started following her back again because I wanted to see, what she was gonna put out about that Brother Polite business. But then after, it kind of settled down, and then for a long time we didn't hear anything more about I had stopped following her. But when that whole Cardi B mess was going on, and I was not following Tasha K, so I was not keeping up with any of that. But from what I had read, I read an article that I'm not sure if it's last year or some months back, but she'd had some woman on her show who came. I don't know if the woman was a little piece on the show, then she got her own website saying that she had an affair with, I don't watch the Housewives, but one of the housewives' husbands. And that woman was up and down how they met, this, that. And I think last week, the woman posted on social media that she was just lying. She ain't had no affair with that man. She was just lying.
Oh
So
my
then
goodness.
people was like, well, hold up. But Tasha had, and then Tasha came out and said, I kind of felt she was lying anyway. Then why would you have her on your show? That makes you look. If you thought she was lying, why would you have her on your show? That's not an answer. When the woman comes out and says she was lying about this man, and then when people ask you, you say, "Well, I thought she was lying too." It's
Mm-hmm.
not an answer. That just shows the people who follow you that you have zero integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Zero integrity. So I can't with Tasha K. I don't fool with her. I can't. I don't fool with her. But a lot of people like her. But I can't fool with you because you're showing that you don't have no integrity. That whole Cardi B stuff that shows that you don't have integrity. And I know people like celebrity gossip. I don't really follow celebrity gossip. But when you find out that people just putting out anything for clicks and views, and then when it comes about that it was all lies, how are people still following you? I don't
Right.
understand that. I don't get how people still follow you. I do not understand that. So
Well,
that
yeah,
was
it's
all I
that
wanted to say.
tabloid, it's that tabloid mentality and all of that kind of stuff. And TMZ back in the day used to be bad for lying on people, but they act
Yeah,
straight and they only report like true stuff now. You know, they don't really
yeah,
report rumors and all that kind of stuff. So, but they had to go through something to get to that point. So, at some point in time,
yeah,
she should have transitioned from lying on people to having valid information, but she just steady digging a hole because this Will Smith stuff is just like the Cardi B stuff because she got a witness, she got somebody that was close to her, and she interviewing that
yeah.
person, and she's taking that person's word and defaming the Smiths. So I hope they sue her behind.
I hope they sue that dude. I mean, one thing about the Smiths, I'll say this: they have said that they're never getting divorced. Their marriage is different than other people's marriages. That's how they live.
Mm-hmm.
Works for them. I want them to stop talking about their marriage.
Right.
Take a break from that. But that's just me. Everybody has the right to speak, tell their truth, write a book. But for me, I want them to stop talking, give it a rest, go back to what y'all were best at, entertainment, making the movies, entertaining the people. Give it a rest because a lot of people really don't want to hear about it anymore. But they got a right to talk about it. But that's what I want from them.
Well, you know
But
what?
that's what.
They bear part of the responsibility too, Elisa. Now I got to be fair because when Jada Pickett got
Mm-hmm.
her little tabletop thing or whatever, that's her platform to share all this information. Just like the entanglement thing, she shared that. Nobody didn't make her say it, but she put that out there, and people are critiquing her for that, right? So
Well,
if she go
wait,
ahead,
Tyrone. That guy, the guy who she had the entanglement, he put it out there, and then everybody found out about it. So she had Red Table Talk, so she decided to address it on there.
oh,
She didn't just come out and talk about that. That guy put it. He kissed and told,
uh
so
huh.
he put it out. So she addressed it on Table Talk. That's how that went.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that she's got that platform and she's being very open about their private business, and people are critiquing them for that. And I think that's
Yeah,
why Will Smith is taking a lot of heat for being like this emasculated man. And I don't even believe in that term, but he's been taking a lot of heat for being this emasculated man and all this kind of stuff because of stuff that get put out on their type of platforms. And but when it comes to like Tasha K just inserting somebody and putting out rumors about secondhand news, then that's just wrong. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's just wrong.
And if this man was if that man was extorting them, that's why he no longer works from them, and they separated because that's what she said. He was extorting them.
Mm-hmm.
She said that on the Breakfast Club, and that's why they are no longer. I think I forget what he did for them, but he was it was some type of something went on. She didn't go into it in depth, and I understand that. Because, especially if you go sue somebody. He said you don't go into it in depth. But she said there was an extortion going on. So that's why they had to break it broke ways. And he wanted money. And then now the next thing you know, he has a book. And they're not and if that she said, but I cannot talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're not the first celebrity to have had that happen. I remember not Jay Leno. I can't think of the other guy. He was on the other late night show. Uh,
Johnny
he had
Carson.
had an affair. No, he was on during the time with Jay Leno. I don't know why I can never remember that man.
David
He was on
Letterman.
David Letterman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was being extorted. He'd had an affair on his wife, and the people were extorting him. And I don't know if he was gonna pay it or not pay it. But anyway, he went to the FBI, and when he knew it was gonna come out that he was being extorted, he had an affair on his wife. I remember because I used to like Jay Leno. He told the audience, "I have something I have to talk about." Just before the show started. And he told everything that was happening, and it's going to be coming out. The FBI is in charge, and this person, yeah, that person had criminal charges. I think that person might have went to prison for a little bit for trying to extort money. So Jay Leno did the right move. I did this. This is something I have to work with my family, but this is what's been going on. So he's not the first celebrity to have had this happen. And like she said, it was some type of business something, and the guy felt he deserved or wanted or whatever. She was very vague, but she said he was extorting them. And then now you have this. So if they sue, I see a lot of our people were saying, well, how can she sue Tasha Smith? I mean, Tasha, whatever her name is. How can she sue Oh Girl? How can she sue Oh Girl? She gave him the platform. If he's lying and if the Smith got the receipts, Oh Girl thought Cardi B's pockets was deep. The Smith's pockets is 10 times deeper than Cardi B. So that's gonna be awful. Their pockets is much deeper than Cardi B's. And you know what? If they had the receipts that all of this is not true and what this guy was trying to do, I say sue everybody's drawers off. Sue them all off. That I would. But, a lot of times, maybe a lot of people think that celebrities, they will just ignore. People put out gossip. And because we've been hearing gossip about the Smiths for years, for about 2 decades probably. And they know this. They probably have heard the stuff that people have put out, but you can't prove that stuff. But sometimes they will have had enough. Cardi B said, I got time today. And the Smiths might say, we got time today. So I would just have to see where this is going to go. I just hate this type of salacious stuff on people when people put this kind of stuff out. Another example.
Mm.
I'm a big Janet Jackson fan. And I remember for years, ever years and years and years back when I was little, people was putting out that she had a baby with her first ex-husband.
Who you talking about again?
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. Okay.
People were putting out. I was a kid hearing that stuff that she had a baby with her first husband, the DeBarge. She had a baby. They had a baby. Had a baby. And then her brother Randy's daughter. For years, people say that's her secret daughter. That's her secret. So you hear all of these rumors, and 9 out of 10 times they all ignore that stuff and they don't address it.
Mm-hmm.
They just ignore it. But then the DeBarge family, who was going on the Inside Editions and the shows, was saying, yeah, they did. He even lied. Her ex-husband that they had a baby. They had a baby. His mother, yeah, they had a baby. They had a baby. I don't know what happened or what went on, but then they all came back and said, no, none of that stuff wasn't true. And the girl who they were saying was their baby, that's Randy's daughter. And so you hear these lies, you hear these rumors on these people, you hear them for years that don't make them true, that don't make it true.
It don't. But
And
what
the
get me is
celebrity,
how many people just follow that stuff. Like Tasha K has got a
yeah,
big platform, and whatever she says,
yeah,
there's a lot of people that just automatically think that she's telling the truth.
yeah. And that's the kind of things, that's the kind of stuff that bothers me. But I would like for the Smiths to take a break from talking and their books and all of that. They have a right to do it. But I think for their own image, if y'all say y'all never getting divorced, this is the type of marriage we have. It seems like their kids, they have great kids. They do a lot of good things.
Mm-hmm.
Take a break from all of this and do what y'all do best, entertaining. That would be if I was their person advising them, I would tell them take a break, quit with the books, quit talking about it, give it a break, come back and just give it a little break, take a vacation. Y'all, the people's wealthy. Come back and just do what y'all do best. Because I don't want to hear anything more about the Smiths marriage. That's me. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
hear any more about it. I really don't.
Well, there's people out there that do, and that's the sad part about the black people is that we're gonna get that stuff and we're gonna go, did you hear this and did you hear that? And Jermaine, what you just
Uh
said
huh.
is one of the craziest things. He said that he don't think rumors about or gossip about sex is defamation um of character unless the case is something, what do you say, unless in case there is something about being whatever. Listen, it is defamation of character, right? And the reason that I can tell you that is Tasha K's last case. She was talking about Cardi B's sex life and her getting diseases and all this kind of stuff, and the judge said it was defamation of character and awarded her $4.25 million. So it is, whenever you talk about somebody's sex life, if it's not true, it is defaming that person, especially what that guy said about Will Smith and that guy being bent over a couch and all this kind of stuff. That's defamation of character when it comes to
That is
that.
defamation of character,
Yeah.
especially if you are accusing married people
Right.
of having sexual relations with people that are not their spouses.
Right.
That is defamation. I know we don't look at it as anything anymore, but that's still defamation. When you marry people, you talk about they sleeping with this person, they sleeping with that person. That is defamation of their character. Because I know the world looks at people having side chicks and side men and doing this and babies on the side, but that still represents bad character when you doing them things. So that's defamation of your character. That's
Oh
how
yeah,
I
without a
look at
doubt.
it.
And even marriage as an institution, it's supposed to be, some people look at it as a religious institution, a moral a connection or whatever. Whenever you get in a marriage, you're supposed to have a certain standard and a certain way of living and bringing up a family. And if somebody out there is saying that you're doing all this sleeping outside of your marriage, that's defaming your family, defaming the persons involved, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is defamation.
Mhm. So I don't. I'm sick of hearing about these people's marriages. I really am. I don't follow a lot of celebrity news. Some of the stuff I just happen to see on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're on.
Okay. I just happened to see it on social media. But anybody, if you're doing celebrity gossip and stuff, I don't follow people who do celebrity gossip. I just see it when it becomes real big on
Yeah, and then
social
start
media.
trending.
Then
Yep, that's how I get it.
yeah.
Hmm.
When it starts trending, then I find out about it. But I don't follow celebrity gossips, and I do follow people who review like television shows that I watch. And if they throw in a little bit of gossip about something that's going on behind the scenes in the show,
Hmm.
that's it. But just people who do celebrity gossip, I don't follow that because I don't care about these people's private lives. I really don't. I really don't care nothing about these people's lives. But a lot of people they do. So
Yeah, like I said,
but
I
I don't
respected
fault people for it.
I respected Will Smith before the slap. Now I just can't get over that slap, and I think that he's got a good guy. Maybe he was having a bad day there, but I was looking for them to recover from that down the road, not this soon, but down the road, so he can get back into what he was doing. So,
But I didn't have a problem with the slap.
mm-hmm.
You had a problem.
But that's
Some
because you
people
don't like
did.
Chris Rock.
No, I don't like Chris Rock. So I didn't have a problem with the slap. I hated that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then after you heard a little bit more that some maybe a decade or so ago, when the rumors had came out that the Smiths was having marriage trouble. Because I remember Wendy Williams and all these people were talking about it. I remember hearing about that they were having marriage trouble, but they didn't tell the public.
Mm-hmm.
But the rumors got out, and in both of their books or whatever, they said they was friends with Chris Rock, and during that time, Chris was trying to hit on Jada.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that. Now, Tyrone, that's awful. These are your friends, and you finding out that they having marriage trouble, and you try to hit on the wife.
Mm-hmm.
That was in that. It was in Jada's book. Will spoke on that. That makes you scummy. You're scummy when you do things like that.
Well, yeah, they was wrong. If you're wrong with doing something like that, now.
That's scummy. And then she rejected you, and then from then on, you just start tying into her in your comedy shows and saying stuff and did things like that. And then the husband, who was your friend at one point, asked you not to do that, to leave my wife's name and my family and stuff. Don't do that. And then you do it anyway. Mm-hmm. That makes you scummy. You're scummy. So that in knowing that and reading that, and the people who knew the situation was saying that's what's the situation, and then you do it anyway. And he went off. They had a teleprompter. He went off script. That was and decided to do that live. When you were asked to don't do that, man.
What about the G.I. Jane joke?
Yeah, that's about her hair and this and that.
Well, at least that was funny. I know you don't think it was funny, but it was funny.
No, it wasn't funny. And a lot of people said, well, he didn't know that she had alopecia while her hair was gone. He said he didn't know that. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what he knows. I can't stand Chris Rock. But it's not so much a joke. When somebody asks you to stop talking about, don't do that about my wife and my family, don't do that. And y'all were once friends, and this man knew you was trying to hit on his wife when y'all was having trouble, and she turned you down, and then now you still grinding in on that because you were hurt because you got turned down. So if a man slapped you in your face because of it, you had it coming. I just hate that happened on national TV.
Right. That's my thing there.
Yeah. That's the thing that I hate. I wish it was behind after he left the stage and Will went back there and slapped shit out of him after they got off camera. That would have been great. But I hate that it happened on national television. But Will was going to be fine with that because nobody really cared. Some people was like, oh, my God, that's so terrible. Will Smith is the most worst person in the planet. Oh, my God, he's vicious. He's violent. It ain't none of that. Will Smith has never once given the people any reason to think that he's violent and that he's awful and that. This happened, and people turned against him for this incident. And then it just kept getting worse, and people blamed it on the infidelity that Jada had. They didn't have any infidelity.
So let me ask you, when they talking like that, and him being whatever that word is, emancipated or whatever, you don't think that had emasculated? Yeah, you don't think that had anything with his conduct that night?
For him slapping Chris?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that had anything to do with that. I don't think that had anything to do with that. Was Will emasculated? Probably because their business got out there. But he kept telling everybody, and everybody kept ignoring what was coming out of his mouth. My wife did not cheat on me. She never did that. And people didn't want to listen. And then you come to find out Yes, they were married, but they were living separate lives. They weren't together. She never cheated on him. But people didn't want to listen to what this grown man
Wait
was
a minute,
saying
wait
out
a
of
minute.
his
Now,
mouth.
didn't Jada Pinkett say that she slept with that boy?
Yeah, okay, you see, that's why you're not listening either.
Uh huh.
They were married,
Okay.
but they were separated.
Oh.
They were separated. They were not together. Will had his women. He was doing his thing. She was doing her thing. They were still legally married, but they were not together.
Mm-hmm.
So when he said, no, she never cheated on me, she didn't. They weren't together. But people wasn't listening to that.
So
they
let
had
me.
been separated. Go ahead.
So
They were separated.
whenever
They weren't together.
whenever Tupac was around, Will Smith wasn't in the picture, right?
No, she wasn't.
Okay. And then it was
when they were in high school.
it was a
In
rumor
high
out
school.
there that Jada Pinkett slept with that crisscross boy. Did you hear that?
I don't know who that would be, but I know she was dating Grant Hill
Okay.
for a few years. And then after she stopped dating Grant Hill, she met Will Smith.
Okay.
But
Okay.
her
I
and
got you.
Tupac, they was friends in high school down in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
They were friends in high school. They were close friends when they were in high school in Baltimore. They never had a sexual relationship. They was just the best of friends. They were, like she said, like soulmates. They loved one another as friends.
Mm-hmm.
They never had that kind of a relationship. She said that. But people don't listen. People don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear what you want to hear. And when Will said, he told Gayle King on national television, my wife never cheated on me.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish he had said why she never cheated on me. We were not together. We were separated. He should have said that. But he just kept saying nobody cheated on anybody. That's not
well, if they're adamant about staying together, like you just said, then whenever you become that popular and have that type of money and stuff like that, I think it's more of a business agreement. And of course, they got feelings for each other, just like Jay-Z and Beyonce. I mean, they probably love each other, but that's about business too, you know. And a lot of these celebrities get married. Or not get married, but you know, their business become bigger, and they know that it'd be crazy to break up that business. Just that's why the Kardashians held on to Kanye West. But I guess it got to a point. I guess it got to a point to where they couldn't do that no more. But yeah.
But let me ask you, Tyrone, if you're married and you and your wife separate, you over here living a life, your own life, y'all separated. And they had even thought about filing for divorce. They were separated. Your wife over here living her life. You're separated. You living your life. You're dating. She's over here living her life and dating. Is she cheating on you?
No, that's not cheating. That's not cheating. I understand that.
There you go. That's what they were saying the whole time. Yeah. But they should have came out and said nobody cheated on them. I guess they didn't want the public to know they had been separated. But and that's why he kept saying, it was no cheating. My wife never cheated on me. But if I was Gayle, the follow-up question would have been, have you cheated on her, though? And we would have got a different answer. But I do say Jada just didn't have the sense that God gave a cat. Because that little young guy, why would you bother? Why did you pick him? That's my thing at her. Why was you messing with your son's friend? That was bad decision.
That's a bad look. Yeah, that is a bad look. So
that was bad. So I ain't taking up for her for that. That was a bad look. Why was you messing with that little young guy? You, Jada, do better. You too grown. You make it like you're so smart and that you're all knowing. What was you doing with this little guy? No, you wasn't cheating on Will, but that's your son's friend. What was you thinking? Now I give it to her every day, all day when it comes to that Alcina, whatever his name is.
August?
August Alcina. I give it to her all day. That was your son's friend. He was legal and grown, but he was young, and that was your son's friend. Girl, woman, what was you thinking? I get on her all day for that. But cheating on Will, no. And Will says she never cheated on him. And she never cheated on him because they were separated.
But
And
I like
they've
Will Smith.
always
I
said,
just hope he get it together and get his reputation back together and all this social media stuff. You know, and
I hope
social.
they leave social media alone and
Mm-hmm.
stop talking. Just stop talking. Just stop. But everybody, it's easy for me to say stop talking. Everybody has a right to tell their story, but people really kind of want y'all to just cool it. And as people who liked them and was fans of them, I want them to cool. That's just me. I want them to cool it. I don't want to hear any more about your marriage. And they both say we never get divorced. So, well, then great. Now y'all got a lot of money. Go take a break.
Yeah, see,
Do
I don't,
something, you know.
I don't want Will Smith to get like Tyrese is with me. I know everybody love Tyrese to death, but I can't stand no Tyrese. After he done did
I
all
can't
that,
stand who. I can't stand
Tyrese
Tyrese.
Tyrese Gibson. You know, I used to like Tyrese, you know, with the Coca-Cola and
I
him
did too.
him coming up and all that kind of stuff, but then he started crying on social media and doing all this kind of stuff. I can't stand him. I love Transformers, but I won't watch it now because of Tyrese. But I don't want
He's talented though. But
yeah.
you
I
know
can't
what?
take that away from him.
He's talented.
I don't want
But
Will Smith to go
Tyrese,
down that road with me. I like Will Smith.
no, I don't think he will. Him and Jada, y'all take a break. But Tyrese is. Somebody had called him. What is the word? I'm gonna get the word right. Like people. God, they called him not an emotional vampire.
Mm-hmm.
They called him. What is the word? Like when you get in a relationship with somebody and they just so much and they're just so needy
Mm-hmm.
and I forgot the word, but they said I'm just going to call it a needy. Like some people are just needy,
Mm-hmm.
very needy, and they suck out all the air out of the room. That's Tyrese.
Mm-hmm.
He's a vampire. He sucks all of your. He's an energy vampire. You get involved with this dude, it seems like he sucks all your energy, all the energy out the room. I mean, there's something is always wrong.
Right.
With the speeches, and you're like Tyrese, just cool it. Now he got a mess going with this latest divorced wife, and he's suing what's the lumber place,
Yeah,
It's just
that's the kind of mess that I see him in all the time, arguing back and forth with people, and it's just too much. Too much.
It's
I can't
something
do
always
Tyrese.
wrong. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
an emotional vampire. You get in a relationship with Tyrese, he gonna suck all energy. He gonna suck all your energy away. And that's why I don't care for Tyrese. I used to, but it's just you know.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know.
want Will Smith to get to that point. You know, I hope that he
I
can
don't think he will. I
recover.
don't think he can get to that point because remember Tyrese even dragged them into it. So I wish Tyrese the best, but that's one reason why Tyrese has always remained a B movie star because the people who work with him said he's very draining.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something. It's always something with him. And what's the guy that had got the police choked him with his knee? What's his name?
George
The one that
Floyd.
was killed, rest in peace. Yeah, George Floyd. And remember they was having all them funerals for George Floyd?
Uh-huh.
And one of the funerals, they had a whole funeral tour with George Floyd. I never quite understood that. But the one where a lot of celebrities went, and I don't know where it was. It was warm. And Tyrese showed up to the funeral, and he was dressed up like a Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
He had on black berets, sunglasses, all his black clothes, and a black leather jacket.
Mm.
And it was hot outside. And he started going into the plight and the song. It was just like
That was disrespectful.
no, he was really he was trying to be militant at the funeral, and he was dressed in black. Just type in Tyrese at the George Floyd funeral, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As hot as it was outside, and he was all militant with it, and it's just like he just always just has to do the most. Tyrese, he does the most when it don't take all of that. And when his
that
friends
didn't sound good there, and I don't know if it looked good or people fell for it, but that would just I think it was
they
disrespectful.
didn't. People said Tyrese doing the most. And when his friend, his co-star in those car movies had died in the
Mm-hmm.
car wreck, Tyrese went to the scene of the car wreck and he was crying and they had the cameras all on him and he stayed out there for hours sitting in the grass crying. And I'm not taking away, he probably was hurt. I don't know. I don't know him. He lost a friend. But it just seemed like the most, and that's when I really tuned in on Tyrese when their co-star had died and how he was out there all day crying in front of the cameras. And I was like, okay, something a little off. I'm not saying he's not hurt. And from then on, I started noticing dude be doing the most.
But yeah, I just googled them pictures, and that's a little too much for me. Yeah, I think he was doing too much.
You see, I'm looking at it too on the screen. Tyrese he be doing the most, and it's like, you see, and he had on dog shades and all these clothes, and everybody else just had on some regular stuff. He was out there like a Black Panther, and when he spoke to the media, he was just like doing the most. It would make you go, Tyrese, did you know this man? Did you know? You see what I'm saying? Did you know this?
Yeah,
man?
That's too much.
But he was having a moment when he talked to the cameras. You know, it was just like, dude, you doing the most, and that's usually him. And when his mother, rest in peace, died from COVID,
mm-hmm.
and he filmed the whole journey, everything in the hospital, and you know, I don't know. I wish him the best. Let me put it that way. You say, I mean, he was out there looking like a Black Panther.
Yep. That's crazy. That is crazy. But
doing the most.
These folks need to leave old Tasha K alone. I don't know how Tasha K still got her popularity after Cardi B. I thought that she would be done for.
Because people like mess.
Mm-hmm.
And people like to see other people have mess. Mm-hmm. And they're going to follow it. You remember, because Tyrone, you put up TRS back when you first started the show and how popular it was.
Right.
Because for the reason that it was started, that was the thing. That's why I called in. Mm-hmm. For the reason it was what it was supposed to be about. But then it didn't take much for it to turn into personalities and fights.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And this person against, it was just always one thing after another with the different personalities over here. And the show was so big, it was so popular, but it wasn't, it kind of got lost a little bit with the reason for it starting. And it turned into the personalities, and it turned into the beefs, then it turned into the gossip. And
that's kind of why I just said I'm gonna back away in the corner, because people, like you said, get into themselves and the beefs and the personalities, and it just wasn't that ain't gonna be built on nothing, you know.
No,
it's just gonna be a bunch of crap, you know.
Some of it was fun. Now we did have fun.
Oh, it's fun. Now I ain't gonna sit there and tell no story. It was fun, but I mean, as far as people taking it personal and trying to get at each other, you know, people really took it personal, and they try to, you know, do personal attacks and all that. And that's dangerous.
And trying to doxing people and stuff like that, you know. And it was like, okay, but people like that kind of stuff. They do. I hate it. That's why I don't follow celebrity gossip blogs. That's why I don't follow them, because half that stuff that you hear is probably not true. And like people say, take a page out of Beyonce's book. All the stuff people say about her family and this, that, she don't ever answer. She don't come back to set the record straight. She says nothing. Right. And I think that's good. People need to learn to do that. I think that's a good way.
And even if there is some dysfunction in a family like Beyonce and Jay-Z, and it do get public, it is smart of them not to even try to correct the record in public. That's crazy.
No,
You know,
you're
they
right.
shouldn't do that.
Because we didn't remember when him and Solange got into the fight in the hotel, in the hotel
Right.
elevator.
Right.
No one knew that they were having trouble until somebody from the hotel released that tape to the I don't know if it was TMC or whoever for money or whoever they released the elevator tape to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, her sister should have known all elevators have cameras. Mm-hmm. All of them do. But sometimes when you're mad, you don't care, mm-hmm. and then you just go off. And that was the one time that their business was out there. And did they ever address it? Not really.
Right,
they
right.
Did. They put 2 albums out, made a whole bunch of money. And did they address it in the albums, or did they say what you wanted them to say? Did they tell you the truth? Or you really don't know. But they addressed it in 2 albums, and they made a whole bunch of money and went on tour. I ain't mad at that. Not mad at that. They never sat down with Oprah or Gayle King and addressed none of that. They just put out 2 albums, and people said, well, they addressed it in the albums, and they made a lot of money.
It looked like Beyonce's sister.
Everyone talking, even
it looked like Beyonce's sister was is a brat, I guess, and she attacked that boy. I don't think he did too much. Yeah.
We don't know what that was about, but we really don't know what it was about.
No, we don't.
The elevator didn't have sound. We don't really know what that was about. But when you're mad, you're mad. When you're upset,
right.
Sometimes people's like, well, you're trying to tell you these elevators got cameras. Calm down. But some people, when they get overly mad, some people, you can't calm them down, and they just let it all hang loose. And
yeah.
That's how, because Beyonce was standing there with her head down, holding her pocketbook. Jay-Z was trying to stop her, and she just didn't care.
Yeah, I just played the video on YouTube. I hope it don't get.
I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm seeing Beyonce. I didn't know Beyonce was in there the first time, but I see her over there in the corner.
Yeah, because she just stood there,
holding
her pocketbook, and her sister is kind of like a wild child. She didn't care, and she let it all hang loose. And I know somebody, because we didn't hear the sound, but somebody probably was telling her, the elevator got cameras. The elevator got cameras. Stop.
Yeah.
They don't care. Some people just don't care. We will never know. I wish the elevator had sound. We will never know. And I remember people was like, Jay-Z should have. She hear him. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of it was black men. She hear him. And he had a right to knock her out.
Well, my thing, just from looking at it now, is that's Beyonce's sister, right? So it's her blood. So if she was in the right, then Beyonce probably would have said something. So,
but she didn't.
No, she didn't. So there was something going on with Solange.
We don't know what that was about.
No, we don't.
We really don't. And for people to say that Jay-Z should have knocked her out, he's not doing that.
No.
That's his sister-in-law. Security is standing right there. Ain't nobody's knocking anybody out.
Well, just from looking at this, I got more respect for Jay-Z now, just from looking at this, because, he did what he's supposed to do. He didn't hit that girl. It looked like she tiny. He probably could have hurt that girl.
Yeah. Why is he going to beat her up? That's his sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what that was about.
No, we don't.
We don't know what that's about. We don't know what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why she jumped on him. We don't know what he could have could not have did, or didn't do. Mm-hmm. We don't know what that was about. We just know she went off on him in the elevator. That's all we know.
Right.
And that's why I didn't put much clout in that, because we don't know anything of what that was about. But people were speculating, but we don't know what that was. They never told us.
Well, people should take notes from that family there and not put their business out there on social media.
Out in the street. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Keep your stuff private. Keep your stuff. I agree with that 100%. First of all, it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. Like the foolishness that went on with T.I. and his family. Now,
that was a lot,
that dust up with his son. But I bet you they hate that it was on social media. I hate that it was.
Wait a
got
minute.
out.
Hold on. Wait. You said there was a dust up with T.I.'s son?
With him and his son. You didn't hear about that?
No, I did not. I thought you were talking about T.I.
That
and Tiny running like this brothel or whatever.
no. Last weekend, I think it was. They were at the football game. I
Mm-hmm.
think they were in a skybox or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they got into it's all over social media. They got into an argument,
Mm-hmm.
and he like kind of pushed up on Ti, and Ti had to catch him up in a headlock. You didn't see that? I
No, but
know they had.
we getting ready to see it now. So
Yeah, they got caught up because if some people showed the short version, and then some people had the full version. They was just talking and running their mouths, and they was telling him that you don't this that, and then the phone got knocked down. Whoever was doing the recording, because Ti he pushed up on his father, and Ti had to catch him up in a headlock and was telling him, you can't come at me like that. You can't do nothing to me, and the whole thing. Nobody wants their family business out like that. And he
no.
had to catch him up. He had to catch him up in a headlock.
Well, see, something like
And
that seemed like it would have been private. If it wasn't for the phone, and T.I. and his son would have worked that out. But unfortunately, somebody was looked like live streaming, and they
yeah, his
recorded that.
son was live streaming.
Yeah.
And then the physical altercation happened, and the phone got dropped. What you're looking at is the phone was dropped.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
if you listen to what they're saying, T.I. had him in a headlock, and he was like, you push up on me. You can't do nothing to me. You'll never be able to. And I was like, oh, my goodness. Look at their family business out here like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants that out there. And I felt bad. That their business is out there. I hate
Oh,
when
that
people
little boy
business be
just as
out in the
ugly as
street.
his mama. Oh my goodness.
He looked. You know what he looked like? You remember when I remember when I was a kid. I used to love the show Fraggle Rock. You probably
Yeah, I
didn't
know
watch
what
Fraggle.
Fraggle Rocks is.
Fraggle Rock. Yeah, don't he look like one of them Fraggle Rocks?
He just as ugly as his mama.
He
Oh
look
Lord.
like one of them. You type in Fraggle Rock. He looked just like one of them Fraggle Rocks.
Let me see if
Hey,
ABC.
Tyrone.
Yeah, go ahead. I just
I
seen.
just want to ask. I just want to ask Elisa. Is he doing the most, or
Mhm.
is he not? What's going on with Tyree? Is he doing the most, or is he doing the
He's doing
most?
the most. He's doing the most.
Okay,
He's
all right.
doing the most.
Okay. I just wondered. I want to make sure I understood.
I know that ain't your only question.
No, that's it. That's it. I ain't talking about nothing.
Everybody,
I ain't interested in the chatty
everybody.
patty stuff.
No, we ain't talking about nothing.
No, we ain't.
Then, oh, come on now. Everybody knows Tyrese is they out here doing the most. And a lot of times it's not a good look. Always
Hey,
complaining.
real
Don't
talk.
complain. Keep your
When
business off social media.
when Elisa was saying that, I had a song in my head. I kept repeating, "Doing the most. He doing the most. He doing the most."
Well, he is. He always is. He always is. It's always a complaint. It's always something. It's always wrong.
I'm gonna clip that.
And
Elisa, use it.
okay,
Put it on a T-shirt.
but it's
Yeah.
true. Keep your business off social media. It's not not a good look. It's not a good thing. And I don't. Some of the celebrities know how to do that. Keep their business off social media.
Just like I mentioned Denzel Washington earlier. I'm pretty sure that he got a family that's got just as many issues as other families.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't heard nothing about that man's family. I ain't heard no rumors. I ain't heard nothing about Denzel Washington. Now I might be a little slow on that, but I ain't really heard nothing about him.
Oh, I've heard rumors,
Mm-hmm.
but they keep their business to themselves. And rumors are nothing but what? Rumors.
Yeah.
So until you come out and till you come out and address them, all they are is rumors.
Right.
But no, I've heard rumors about Denzel, but and his not his family, but him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all they are is rumors.
Well, I
Don't
mean,
address it.
like I said, you probably heard something, but I haven't, and that's a good thing that it ain't been spreading like wildfire, I guess, where everybody knows about it.
Oh, some of his rumors are really out there, and with other famous people. So, not other famous people, another famous person, and other people, but it's never been addressed.
Mm-hmm.
He's never addressed it. The other person, who we all know who this other person is, never addressed it. So that's all they are, is rumors. I believe it though.
You believe? Well, tell us what it is. Now I want to know since you believe it.
No, I don't. I'm not going to repeat rumors. I don't repeat rumors and gossip. But one of the rumors was kind of verified. I just say this: one of the biggest rumors about him. I'm not going to repeat it. Was verified by someone that used to contribute on TRS that knew one of them personally. And one of them rumors, people, yeah. So you would have to type in. I'm not going to repeat it. I don't repeat rumors because it's no truth in it. But if you were to type in Denzel Washington cheating rumors, and you don't type it on the screen, I'm just telling you to do that yourself, Tyrone. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it pops right on up.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paulette.
There you go. That's his wife.
Well, who did he cheat with?
Don't say it because I don't repeat rumors.
All right, I won't say it.
Don't say it out.
I guess I don't know this person though.
Yeah, you do. I'll send it to you. Hold on. Let me find one of the articles.
Oh, I see who it is. Her initials is SG.
No.
Okay, so I guess I need to go back.
SL. SL.
SL.
Mm-hmm. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. Wait a minute.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess, but like I said, I mean, I guess it happened, and
things happen. People are adults. People do things, but that's what they are. That's why I'm not into celebrity gossip. Hold on, Tyrone. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm surprised you've never heard of this. Wait a minute. Oh, here you go. Okay, I'm surprised. This was the one that somebody had kind of verified that we had kind of all believed anyway. I just sent it to you. You see the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that one I believe.
Who is she? Let me click on her. I don't know this lady.
You know who? Yes, you do.
Oh, now I know about her face.
Okay,
yeah, I know that
you know
face.
Her. You seen her? Yeah, in a lot of things.
Yep. Yeah. See, I didn't know that was her name.
Yeah. So, but all it is a rumor if they don't address it.
Right.
And that's probably for the best. Don't address it. I hate gossip. Let me ask you something to this different direction. Henry Kissinger.
Oh yeah, I heard about him today.
Was it yesterday? Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think Henry Kissinger was one of these people who set policies for America that did some good, and a whole lot of his policy did damage to this country worldwide. Because I don't know if you can get it all right, but he was living during a time to where I guess that type of stuff mattered to what the United States stood for and what they said. But at the same time, I know they don't like to use the word third world countries. He didn't look at them in the same light
as
because it was damaging policy. Yeah, it was damaging policies for them.
So he got a lot of he did a lot of. When I heard yesterday evening that he passed, and I went online to see what the folks were saying, I never saw. I mean, when people die, there's always people don't like certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen so much burning hell, roasting hell. The earth is a better place. I'm serious. From all kinds of people.
Oh, that's
All
what they were
kinds
saying
of
about him?
people. Yes. From all kinds of people. I was like, oh my God. I knew that he was sketchy. Some of the things that he did was sketchy. And then when I read, what is this guy? Anthony, are you familiar with Anthony Bourdain, the chef?
Yeah. I know him. I know who that is.
I think he committed suicide, right?
I don't know if he did,
This
but
is
I'll find
let
out.
me. Yeah, he committed suicide. Unless I got him mixed up
But I
with
know Anthony
someone.
Bourdain. He used to have a show. Oh yeah, he did die. I remember hearing him
Yeah,
hearing
I
about
could
him.
be wrong, but I think uh let me see. This is what he had to say about Henry Kissinger. And this is his words. And okay. I hate these pop-ups. Uh okay. This was Anthony Bourdain. Now he said a lot of things after Jesus before his death that he regret. People always have some regrets for some of the things they do and say, but he said not this one. Once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never
Mm-hmm.
stop wanting to. Okay, this is what he said. Once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never stop wanting to beat Henry Kissinger to death with your bare hands. You will never again be able to open a newspaper and read about that treacherous, provocating, murderous scumbag sitting down for a nice chat with Charlie Rose or attending some black tie affair for a new glossy magazine without choking. Witness what Henry did in Cambodia. The fruits of his genius for statesmanship, you will never understand why he's not sitting in a dock at The Hague next to Milosevic.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw so much. I was like, "Who's chief?" So then I'm gonna do some more study into Henry Kissinger. But when I decided to let me take see what I know he's some sketchy some things that went on, turbulent times, Vietnam War. But the little bit that I have was able to search up on him since last night and today in between work, yeah, he was awful. And when the first thing I started with, when they said what went on with Cambodia during the Vietnam War, and when I just heard the word Cambodia, I knew it was gonna be bad. I
Well,
knew it
now,
was gonna
yeah,
be
I'm
oh
reading some of this now, and it's kind of like I was a child, but it's kind of like coming back to me hearing this stuff about Cambodia now. Yeah, so he was the
and
guy that.
I wasn't even born. Yeah,
Okay.
so and how it just and when Richard Nixon told him that to kill anything moving, and Cambodia, as for what they said, was neutral during the war,
Mm-hmm.
but the Vietnamese they were using parts of the country to to bring in supplies and different things like that, and they carpet bombed that country. And the amount of death, I mean, carpet bombed it to death
You're right.
and killed all those people, which, in a sense, made the government unstable, and which led to, and I have studied this part a lot when it comes to Cambodia, to the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot. And if you are familiar with the history of the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot in
Mm-hmm.
Cambodia, Henry Kissinger should be burning in hell. If it's a hell,
Well, I'll
burning
take back
in
what I
hell.
said about him. This is one of these people, and he's of course Jewish, look like, and
Yes, he is.
you know, this is one of them people that they want to shape the world, but they don't want you to criticize them for it. And I'm pretty sure his background had everything to do with the way he treated them Cambodians.
And yes, like they were nothing. And hopefully, if there's a hell, you go ahead and put Richard Nixon on a stick and put him beside him while you roast, and that whole history of what went on with those people. And he basically kind of was the architect that led to the things that happened in Cambodia. And it's not just Cambodia, different parts of Africa. Henry Kissinger got a lot of blood on his hands. But just like what we were talking about last week, and that's why there's so much hate for him. What we were talking about last week, and I saw someone describe Henry Kissinger. We talk about America and America's democracy, which is hanging on by a thread right now. But America's democracy. Henry Kissinger, someone said he is America's democracy. And I said this last week. Certain things that this country has done all over the world, destabilizing different countries' governments because it's not what they want it to be.
Right.
And because they want certain things, and the death and the destruction that happens in these countries, all of that is in the name of American democracy.
Well,
look like
he was involved in Argentina, right? And people complaining about people coming over the southern border. But this is some of the policies that I was talking about that disrupted some of those governments down there that probably Henry Kissinger had something to do with, that put those warlords in charge.
Government.
Yep.
And Africa and parts of the continent. And so much destabilization of these countries and things like that, because the leadership who they vote in, whether they're good, bad, whatever, they go and destabilize these places, and then you just have a horror, all under the banner of America's democracy. And we all have what's the word? We all as Americans, this country got a lot of problems, but we all as Americans, we have benefited some way from the destruction of somewhere else.
Right.
We have. And that's why they said Henry Kissinger is America's democracy, because they did a lot of wheeling and dealing and things all over this planet. And he was a brilliant person, but he got a lot of blood on his hands. And then when he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, you had people, when I went into that, well, how did he get the Nobel Peace Prize when the war was still going on? And they said certain people who are related to that in the board that works with that, they quit. And other people didn't want to be associated with the Nobel Peace Prize after they awarded it to Henry Kissinger, because it was like, is this a joke? And he even offered to give it back. But see, that's American democracy. They have things like that is done to try kind of wash it away. And Hillary Clinton, I was listening to, somebody pulled up an old excerpt of Bernie Sanders when they were running for, when Hillary was running for president and doing their campaign, and she was talking about doing, when they were all campaigning to run, Trump ended up winning anyway. But when Bernie was running, and Hillary, when she had spoke, was saying as president, because she had so much respect for Henry Kissinger and this and that, and she in her administration, she would get advice and she would this and Henry Kissinger. And Bernie Sanders, when he stood up, he was like, I would like to say, as a person, he put that so how he would never have anything to do with Henry Kissinger. He would not want to take any advice from Henry Kissinger, and and I was like, you gotta get it, Bernie. I mean, he told Hillary and Henry Kissinger, he taught him a new asshole, Bernie Sanders. So that's
I'm looking at all this stuff. Henry Kissinger was a piece of shit, and I watched Morning Joe kiss his ass. Morning Joe gonna be kissing his ass. He's a piece of shit. He killed a lot of people on this planet. I was trying to give him a little bit of credit.
No, I heard bad things about him, but I'm gonna be honest, I thought Kissinger was dead.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I thought he was dead. But when they said that he died, and I was like, oh, let me see what the people are saying. And I saw thousands of people hate, hate, hate. The world is a better place. One less load should have died long ago. And why did he live so long? And why did he this or that? I'm so glad this is a happy day. And I'm like, oh my God, look at the Kissinger hate. So I said, I got to get into it. I know a lot of people didn't like him and different things like that, but I never really got into Henry Kissinger. That was before my time.
Right.
I knew who he was. I used to hear him speak. We all are familiar with that voice of his. But then after I got into it, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Well, like you
And when I
said,
saw
that Henry Kissinger is America diplomacy or the American policy.
democracy,
Yeah, it is. He is.
democracy, he is. Because he did a lot of dirty, I know SARS will come on. I would be curious to know what he thinks, but I can kind of guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh my God, he did a lot of dirt. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of, and like the Americans say and fuss about these people, like you said, at the borders from a lot of these countries and stuff. We over there destabilizing these people, governments, and then they rush to the border looking for salvation, looking for just a lifeline to be able to live and take care of their families. Well, it's American politics out here doing all of this stuff, and but it's a hard pill to swallow. We benefit from it as Americans. It's a very hard pill to swallow.
Right, right.
But we do benefit from it. Like America is telling Israel, go full force, full head, full steam. Well, are they backing off now? But, giving them a pass and weapons and we support. And then with our own eyes, we see the slaughter that's going on.
Yeah, because there was a news story that came out this week about 3 Palestinians getting shot, 3 Palestinian students getting shot, and I don't know where it was, but they was critiquing
Rhode Island or somewhere.
Yeah, they were critiquing Morning Joe because Morning Joe had all this stuff to say about the Jewish students getting harassed in this country, and I don't think they said hardly anything about those people getting murdered because they were Palestinian American.
They didn't get killed, but I think they might still be in hospital. But the 3 of them were shot, and so you're trying to. It's just Islamophobia. They caught the fool who did it, and I saw a lot of people. They caught him pretty quick, and when it happened, a lot of people saying, "And why they not gonna do nothing in the United States?" Yeah, they're gonna catch. They're gonna catch that person. Y'all just got to give them a minute to do it.
Yeah,
they're gonna catch this person. So, I don't know. Things is just a mess right now. And things is just a mess.
Well, I guess you can thank Kissinger for setting the stage for it to be this way.
He helped it along.
Yep.
He did. He helped it along. But that's American politics. Hard pill to swallow, but that's American politics. And I'm hoping with this this Israel and Gaza slaughter, I hope that I think they got another reprieve for another day. I'm hoping that this will continue and they won't go back to slaughtering them people over there, because it's affecting American politics. It's affecting American politics. What's going over there?
Yeah, but Americans to just blindly get behind Israel is just stupid to me. I don't get. I don't understand why, but it's just crazy for them to just get behind Israel, no matter what Israel do. And Israel is committing war crimes over there. They're not calling that shit out. And that shows that we ain't got no morals, we ain't got no standards when it comes to certain countries.
Well, it's them APEX and the American policy. And being able to have a friendly over in the Middle East, and that's just what it is. In a sense, that's how someone said, because they kind of Netanyahu kind of embarrassed Joe last week. It's like he's just like a puppet. I'm the only one that keep him under control. I'm the only one that makes sure that there's never going to be in the United States. He embarrassed the hell out of Joe last week, but because that's the Western policy. Get standing behind Israel. So I don't know, and it's affecting our politics over here. And a lot of people's like, I'm not voting, I'm not this, I'm not that. He's way down. You know, I don't like Joe either. But I sure as hell don't want Trump back in
No.
because he's already telling the people what he's gonna do.
And that's what kills me is that how can Donald Trump be so close to that office, with all the criminal history that he has, and we seen how he governed. He's a racist. He don't give a crap about democracy. He don't give a crap about this constitution. He don't give a crap about this country. So I don't like Joe Biden, but I mean, we can't have another Trump administration. You know, that's just.
And the things that he's saying that he's gonna do. Hold on. When he gets back in, one of the things that he's, talking about, he's talking about the Insurrection Act. I mean, and you people aren't paying that any attention. I heard someone say that, and this was so true, that none of us don't like Joe Biden. We all wish that they would have a primary him to somebody else. I think a lot of people wish that. I think you said when Joe said he was running against Trump, and when everybody else was running, I was kind of upset. You know, I didn't want him. I didn't want Joe.
Right, because he came out of nowhere and kicked people out of the race.
And I never could stand Hillary Clinton. But it was what it was. We still in the era of voting for the lesser of two evils. That's where we are. I wish we had a third party. I do, but that's where we are. So hold your nose and you vote for these people. And I saw someone said that if Trump get back in, it's a wrap. But if if nobody wants him, if he becomes president, then at least we have another day that we can be able to protest, at least. But if Trump is true to his word with that Insurrection Act and talking about putting the military out there on people who disagree.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. It's looking pretty bad. That's why I hope they could get this Israel and Gaza slaughter, because that ain't no war, slaughter. They could get that thing, wrap that up, and everybody put their mind back on what's going on in this country a little bit. Because you got people talking about just throwing away the country, throwing away their vote, throwing away. Well, I'm going to vote for, what's the guy from Princeton? Is he from Princeton? I forget what school, with the black dude with the hair sticking up. I can't think of his name.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I'm going to vote for him. And I'm not going to vote for anybody. I'm going to vote, everybody vote Green Party. I wish that we had a third party. I wish these other people were viable, but they're not viable right now. They're just not.
No, because the corporations control our politics, and to be honest with you, Donald Trump's election, foreign countries elected our president. China and India and Russia, they really put Donald Trump in office. So I hate that we're a country that don't recognize what happened this last election. You know, who's this unknown caller?
And they want him back too.
Who's this caller?
They want him back, Tyrone.
I just opened your line. Who is that?
What's going on?
Oh, what's up, Jay? Yeah, they want him back, Miss Lisa.
They want him back. They want him back.
But when you say that, when you say that, that's a stronger statement than people realize. Is that means at least half the country at this point want Donald Trump administration back again. Half these damn Americans, or half the voting population.
I think you give.
And wait a minute. And those other countries you mentioned, China, Russia, Venezuela. Netanyahu with Israel, they want him back too. Because these are the far right governments and stuff that people are voting in now.
Yeah, Turkey.
They want Trump. They want Trump back too. The Saudis, they want him back.
Yep.
And the people, y'all just ain't paying attention. Why do they want him back?
What you're saying is so important, because listen, what you're saying is so important because those countries that want him back, those are the ones that are influencing the way our elections turn out, believe it or not. through
See, I
propaganda
think
and all
that
that kind of stuff.
you got a point in that, but I don't think it's half of this country. I think it's still like maybe 30%. It's still a lot. It's not good because the ones that don't vote for him or
No,
don't
whenever
want
I
him
say
in.
half, I mean half the voting population. I don't mean half the country.
Right, yeah, because right, you're right, exactly. Because I think that's where I think that it fails is where a lot of people that are disgusted or don't like him or Biden or just hate the system in general, or people that look like conspiracy theorists in the sense of because the government gives almost a lane or the space available or some reason to the conspiracy theorists to make up these damn things of what happens because the government doesn't do what it's supposed to completely. So now you have all this crazy shit with the elections, this, that, the other. But I would say that with this country, I think that they're so loud that it makes it seem that it's more. Now, with I think outside of the country, yeah, I definitely agree that you have a lot of these leaders that want him there because they saying that the authoritarian regimes are growing, or the non-democratic countries are starting to rise, or people like the guy that's running right now, I believe for the Netherlands, that is supposed to be like the far right Donald Trump of the Netherlands, and they saying that he's going to win, and then possibly Le Pen. So I think yes, you do have a outside of the United States, this authoritarian type of ruling, but I think that I don't know. I see in this country, there's some guardrails, even though they're very thin, but. I don't know. I think that this guy's not coming in, man. They're gonna let him get as far, but they're not gonna let him in. I think even people that are right wingers, now his group, yes, they want him in there, but there's people that are like, this guy is too much, even for them being Republican. I think more of the Republicans that claims to be professional, they're still doing dirt, but wants to wear the suit and tie and look clean outside. Meanwhile, back in the back of the door, they're doing dirt. They don't want him there. He's too much. He's too obvious. He's overwhelming. He's willing to step on anybody, and I think that they want to have somebody that they control. That's what we always talk about. Oh, they put in the presidents. They're the ones that are selected, not elected, right? Well, they want somebody that they can control, not somebody that's going to take over their shit because they want to have control. So you got to think about that inner circle. That's why inner circle fighting is like, but wait a minute. They want to control somebody that's for them, but they want to have control on it. They can't get a guy that's going to take over them, too, because they want to be bosses. So that's the way I look at it, but that's just an analogy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. But what America has that the rest of the world I don't think has is we've actually been free. And I don't think America is going to let that freedom go easy. So that's when you say there's some guardrails. There's some guardrails. It's they fragile. They fragile, right? But if we see that our freedom is getting taken away completely, something is going to happen in this country that's going to be ugly. But the right wing in this country has a way of putting out a message to make people like not see that freedom is at jeopardy. I can't explain it, but people just don't, just like them idiots on Fox News. Every day they speak, they're telling their audience to let go of their freedom little bit by little bit. But at the same time, those hosts sitting on that show know that they don't want to see their freedom be taken away. And
I agree with you with
it's
that.
weird. It's weird to watch.
Yeah, it's a fine line, I'd say.
Yeah.
And again, there is a look. I believe that there is a part of society that are willing to take that beating, to take control. They want a leader. They want to tell them what to do. But there's a certain amount of those people that they don't want to be told what to do. They want you to tell them what to do. So they want them in, but then when the guy comes in and he's like, wait a minute, but he's gonna whip our asses too, but we're with him. They don't want that. So I think that's the thin line. They saying, well, I don't know if this guy's going to be able to do it because then he's going to control us too. Is he really going to care for all white society? I think that not all white people think that, and they know that he's going to play their ass too.
A perfect example. A perfect example is Fonnie Willison's case down there in Georgia with Jenna Ellis and Sidney Powell. They was all behind Donald Trump. They was promoting the conspiracies. They was lying to people about Hugo Chavez and Venezuela. And then whenever they chance got to take the plea, they started screaming like fucking birds. They started singing like, no, I'll take the plea and compared to getting caught up in this RICO stuff. And now they wanting to tell the truth. So, but that's the dangerousness of this country is you got people out there pandering bullshit to crazy people like Sarge, and they're believing it. And then whenever they back get put up against the wall, they don't want their freedom taken away. They just don't. But it's dangerous that these people are just constantly lying to Americans like that.
Yeah, but Trump isn't the one. His campaign, everything that a lot of people is saying that he might do, or feel that he might do, it's not him. Mm-hmm. Trump is not smart enough to do. He doesn't.
I agree
Trump
with that.
Doesn't even know how government. He doesn't even know how government works. So it's not him. It's people behind him. The only thing that he is concerned with is adulation and people loving him, and he can stand up and I'm the greatest and I do it better than anybody else.
You want to be complimented.
Nobody does it. I've done it better than anybody because I know how to do it. That's the only thing that he cares about is that he wants the adulation. He wants the praise. That's the only thing he wants. And be able to steal money and things like that. He doesn't care about any of these other things that people care about. He doesn't care about abortion. He doesn't care who has one. He doesn't care about a lot of stuff that these people. Well, I think he doesn't like immigrants. He doesn't mind hiring them.
Well, no, don't take my job. Don't take my business though. He don't want no immigrant above him. You could work for me. You gotta be under him. But you can't be my airlight. Right.
Yeah, you can be undocumented and all of that. He doesn't care about that. And like I was listening to one of his fans, somebody had, that you had to go around to his rallies, and this one woman said, because what he's going to do, he's against this stuff that's going on with the transgenders, and he's this and that's, and he's going to be against that. And you dingbat. What is that? He think he owns Miss USA? And this was before he was president. And I think he does own the Miss USA pageant. And they asked him, and he said, yeah, they was going to have their first transgender competing in the pageant. And they asked him, how did he feel about that? He said he didn't care. They should be able to compete. So I'm like, you people,
he welcomed it. He said, I welcome it.
Yeah, he was fine with it. And he was announcing it because he wanted the adulation for the LGBTQ plus IA community.
That money.
So he was
That's right. He wants that money.
Yeah, he was like, and he doesn't have a problem with that. Yes, they should. And they're going to be the first pageant to have a transgender. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be, and these people thinking that he's thinking like they are. And he's not. He is pro-choice. He doesn't give a shit. Transgender, if y'all want to give them their rights, he's for it. He was one of the first beauty pageants to say, yes, let him come. He doesn't think like, so that's what I'm saying. It's not him. He just wants to stand out front, get the praise, get the money. It's the people behind him that's pushing their agenda.
Yeah, he has sold out. I think he has sold out to foreign countries. People like Putin, people like Xi of China. He has sold out to foreign countries, and those they're using him as his puppet to confuse Americans and weaken our democracy. But we don't see that part. But you can tell that there's something going on. Yeah, that you can tell that there's something going on because Jared Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis, and we still don't know what that was for. So something is going on.
And then the evangelicals calling him the second coming, and he was sent by God, and he's Jesus, and they praying over him.
Yeah, they call him the orange Jesus, man.
And they're saying that he's so religious and family values, and his own family said he's not religious. He don't care. In New York, in New York,
they telling you the truth, and he's like, no, but he is, I think. Yeah.
He is. And New York has been saying Trump is not religious. He don't care nothing about. He can't. When they asked him, he was doing an interview. What's your favorite Bible quote? Whoa.
The one that everybody.
Yeah, he dodged the hell out that question. Like,
you know the one that's my favorite. You know which one is my favorite. Which one is it? The one that everybody's favorite.
He said that's very personal. I want to discuss it. It's very personal to me. And they said, well, what do you follow, the Old Testament or the New Testament? He said, I think both is great. Never read a Bible, and that man is not religious. So that's why I said people thinking that he's thinking like them and that he cares about their issues. He doesn't. And I don't see why they don't see that. Yeah. And the thing that bugged me when that woman was saying about he's going to do something about the transgenders, you were supposed to play that little video of him saying it's great. We're the first pageant, and they're women, and they should be able to compete, and they should. And then what would they say? They would come up with something else.
Yep.
And man doesn't think like y'all do. He don't care about those things that y'all care about. He doesn't. He just wants adulation. He wants to be able to steal, keep money in his bank account, and he wants people to think that he's the greatest and the best to ever have done it. That's the only thing he cares about. And I just don't, and his people don't see that. And that's what's scary. And some Black Lives Matter organization, they gave him the thumbs up last week for his campaign. They're supporting him. And I was like, the world has gone crazy. This man don't care. He doesn't, I don't think he's all, I don't know, Tyrone, you say that he's racist. I think he's bigoted. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Trump is as racist.
He'll deal with black people if it's convenient for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll work with you because a real racist won't even want to deal with you at all. He don't like you, but he'll do business with you if it benefits him, even though he don't like you.
But he had a lot of black friends. Anything black people was going, if they were giving him praise.
Him and Don King was best of friends.
Yeah, and all of the rappers would talk about Trump and they rap.
Well, yeah, I don't think Mike Tyson left his side, so I think he's still friends with Mike Tyson.
Well, you got to think about it. Mike Tyson was doing big business with him. That's all. Mike had to deal with him because he's like, well, I'm having my events at your shit, and you.
No, I'm saying like they're still friends, like you're saying.
But I think. But he did help Mike Tyson. He did when a lot of people wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he came through for Mike Tyson when a lot of people wouldn't, and Mike Tyson was down.
But why did he come in? Why did he go in for Mike Tyson? Why? Think about it. He was doing business.
I know why he did.
Yeah.
But he did. But he did help Mike Tyson. So if you are a person that value your friends, and you are a person that is loyal to people that did help you when no one else would, I can't blame Mike Tyson.
No, I don't blame Mike Tyson. I like Mike Tyson. For that. Because I ain't seen Mike Tyson do nothing like dumbass Kanye West to come out here and down his community and all that kind of bullshit.
Mike Tyson looks at it as Trump was loyal to him.
Yeah.
He helped him when no one else would.
Right.
So he's going to be loyal back.
Yeah.
And you know what?
There's like Little Wayne.
With that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
So I don't think Trump is as racist as people. He's bigoted. But I don't think he's as racist as people think, because he will deal with you if you give him praise. Because like Jay, like you said, a person who's truly racist, they won't fool with you at all.
Right.
I think.
But yeah, he did have Omarosa, and I think the people around Trump got rid of her.
Well, she needed. But you know what? He didn't dog her out when she left. He didn't dog her out. When she
Exactly.
left, he
That's what I'm
dogged out
saying.
just about,
I think there was the
he
people
dogged
around
out
her.
just about everybody who left. He would dog them out, call them all kind of names. He didn't do that to Omarosa.
Right.
And Omarosa wrote her book. Did he say anything or try to stop the book? No. You want to know why? Because probably in his head, she's doing what I would do. Go after the bag. And that's all that book was the bag.
He can't hate what he does, right?
He can't hate the game. Yeah.
Because he's a part of it.
Yeah, he can't. She ain't gonna tell but so much of what she know. If they had a relationship, she didn't tell any of that. So he's like, she's going after the bag. I can't hate the game. He never tore her down because she was playing the same game he would play. But yeah, he's bigoted. He's bigoted. But the problem with Trump is he's an idiot and he's stupid and he go whichever way the wind blows.
But I don't get why people just don't see how stupid that man. That's what confuses me.
I don't either.
It's good convincing. Some people are easily convinced. I was thinking about this, man.
But Jay, that man is retarded. I'm sorry to use that word, but there's something wrong with Trump.
There's people that do all type. I said this. I don't know if it was last week. Think about the Michael Jackson reaction. What the Michael Jackson reaction and Michael Jackson's peak, right? And I know some people might debate it, but I think this is just an analogy, right? Michael Jackson reaction. When Michael Jackson was at his height, people around the world, when he would travel, you had women and men, boys, girls, they would be fainting when he see him. People would travel across the world for this guy.
My sister was one of them.
Huh?
My sister was one of them. All she had to do was see him on TV.
No, and I'm giving you this to understand to a certain degree, right? So think about that. There was some people that would travel around the world that would go through all type of shit just to see him perform. People were fainting, crying, and all type of shit. That's the syndrome. I would say the Michael Jackson syndrome. The Michael Jackson syndrome, because people get, fanatical with and not only him, but there's also other stars that you see people, they get crazy, like screaming, and I know some of that shit.
But I don't get that analogy though, man. I hear you, and I see the reaction of the fanatics.
The Michael Jackson syndrome.
No, I get the fanatics and all that kind of stuff, but those people.
You can't see yourself.
No, I'm saying like those people. Michael Jackson was offering something. Trump is an idiot.
Yeah, no, hold on. Michael Jackson was offering good entertainment, right?
Right.
But this guy is offering bad entertainment. But he's still offering something. He's giving you bad entertainment, but it's something that's catching the people. Like there's
them some idiots. They idiots too.
That are rebellious. No, there's a society. There's a part of the society that are rebellious. They're mad at everything. He is that guy that they're the fanatic
I guess I can
artist
see it
that
now.
fills in that gap.
I guess
you know
I
what I'm
see
saying?
it.
Like there's angry people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he feeds them with lies.
Yes, and it
well, yeah, because when that dude do his interviews, whenever he do his interviews at the Trump rallies, I guess the people that he's interviewing is the people that Jay is talking about. They get
what they get.
Yeah,
they're getting what they want. You hate transgender.
Right.
He give you that. I hate them too when that's not true. You against abortion and you against this. Yeah, I'm against it too. I'm against that too. I'm gonna get rid of that for you. And you hate immigrants, even though I hired them at record numbers. I'm against them too. I'm gonna stop them from coming in. What y'all get? And remember when he tried this? He was at some church, and he was trying to get some black votes and black people. He was already president, and he was trying to get some more blacks on his side. And when he was at that church, he said the black people are great Americans, and he tried it, but it didn't work. He said, black people built this country. And is that not something we always say? This country was built off of the backs of our slaves, stolen labor. And he said, the black people, they the ones who built this country. And black people didn't feed into that. But white folks got mad. He never said it again. He gives you what he thinks that you want. And a lot of people
for the
fall
moment.
for it.
Yeah.
For the moment,
Whatever
and
works.
black people was like, yeah, Trump, we did. This country was built off the backs of our stolen labor. But you don't give a shit about that. But it made white people mad,
Right.
and he never said it again. But he tried it.
Yeah, and it
He
worked
tried
for
it.
him to his advantage. That's another thing.
No,
like, if it works
did.
to his advantage,
But
he play on it.
He would have kept with that
Yeah.
if more and more some black people jumped on board with it. But if more had jumped on board, he would have kept with it. And I guarantee, if his people said, well, start talking about how you going to get in reparations, he'd have went with that. He'd say, whatever it takes to get you. So Jay is right. You look at the Michael Jackson phenomenon, Trump got the same thing going on with his people. But Michael's feeding it with entertainment.
And good entertainment. You say, oh, it's good. It's good.
Above the rim type of entertainment.
Right.
Trump is feeding his with whatever you want.
Bottom of the barrel, but they like it.
That.
Yes.
But they like it. A great example in the coal countries. He was telling them to bring that clean coal. We're gonna bring that clean coal back. And the black lung people and the people in the coal countries, Obama had given them a stipend. They were getting different little things because coal is not coming back the way that how it used to be. It's just not. And so and Hillary was telling them, we're going to keep your stipend going that Obama gave you all. They were giving them money so their kids could go to the community college. They gave them all computers, different things to help them to maybe start to come on board with where we are. Coal is not coming back like it was. And Trump said, we're going to do clean coal. We're going to bring the coal back. And what did them people voted for Trump? And all of their stipends, because that was Obama administration stuff. All their stipends and all their stuff. And you remember we saw the articles with the people saying, I think we made a mistake.
Yeah, but even with the coal example, he promised that he was gonna bring coal back, and it didn't come back. So why don't them people see that was a damn lie?
Because they got something else too.
It's like the same way why he'll sell you a bag of air, and there's nothing in it, but people still buy it.
Yeah, and with the wall at the southern border, Mexico gonna pay for the wall. That was a lie. I don't get it.
This is what I was thinking. Look. I was thinking this earlier. I said I was going to say this later, right? And I'm glad you just kind of reminded me of it. Look, the guy there's a religious or more than one religious person, right? That be on these infomercials, and they're predominantly white, and they sell this thing. It's a cloth, right? And they say this cloth, right? Yeah, a prayer cloth. You pray into this cloth, and your prayers come true.
Yeah.
Now, you got millions of people, whether you believe in God or don't believe in God, whether you're religious or not, there's people, whether you want to accept it, that believe in this cloth. And they pray into it, they're going to purchase it, or they give a donation, they're going to get this. Bro, you got millions of people doing that here. I mean, and then you would say, damn, we're logical people. You say, yeah, you could be religious, but you really believe that this cloth is going to, it's like, well, there's people that do believe in it. They still to this day are doing this shit and been doing it for years. They're praying to a person. They're praying to something.
But I even understand that more than I understand why they following Trump.
But listen, you're praying for, but still, it's something that is not a guarantee, and and deep in your heart, right? Think about this. Deep in your heart, you know that nothing's going to move unless you move it, right?
Right.
But you still have this thing, and people are invested. It's the same thing with the whole
what I'm saying, though, is this prayer cloth and God been around for forever, right? And, that's a habit that humanity has developed. But Trump he's had his ass around for about 6 or 7 years, and they treating him like that damn prayer cloth. There's something wrong with these people.
But look, here we are, like you just said, it actually goes back to what you said. So, yeah, they've been doing it for years, and a lot of people ain't getting nothing out that prayer cloth, but they still pray to it. So, that you have now, he's a new version of that, if you want to say. But people been banking on shit that could be proven for years that ain't gonna happen
I got you.
and don't exist, and they still following that generations later. Think about that.
But
so we got a new improved version of whatever that is a fake, it's not gonna happen type of thing. But we have some hope type shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
But then you know what else that it really generated to a lot of. I'm not talking about the black people, but the white population. Make America great
again. Yes, white again. Yes.
They love that. That really played. And then you have to think about what era are they? He said, because how it used to be, and when it was this, and when it was that. And that was
he's recycling something too.
Yeah, they want it back to the Stepford Wives and the butler being black and a black nanny cleaning their house.
But when America was great, that was in the heart for them. That it could be great for them now, but they look at that era that was in the heart of Jim Crow, and this dog whistles all up in that. I'm gonna make it America great. I'm gonna bring it back to how it was when it was great. That's also dog whistles, because that was during that period of time when it was prosperous. The wars, the World War I was over. It was over. People were able to do this, and they were moving ahead. That was in the heart of Jim Crow. It wasn't great for us, and it wasn't great for a lot of other people, minorities, and things like that. It just wasn't great. But that's also dog whistles mixed into that.
But which set of white people it was great for back then too, because they was when you can let's get the let's say the so-called the Spanish immigrants, the Mexicans, and let's get black people out of the equation, right? Before all that came into play in the slavery, they had mostly white people, right? Besides the Native Americans when they took over. So you telling me that they was all rich? What was going on back then? Why are they not mad about what happened back then? Why? What was the excuse for them not being prosperous back then before black people came into the picture, and also the Latin immigrants? Because it was them fighting each other, right? I mean, to me, it's contradictory what they say. Like, oh, when it was great, but y'all guys was not all rich back then. You was fighting each other.
But if you take it back to when they look at when America was great,
right?
When America was great, that was in the heart when it was really great. It's not so much about them having. For some people, it's the dog whistle of that. It's not so much that everybody was prosperous, everybody had all of this.
Right, it's just a thought.
It's just that black people knew their place.
Right.
There was segregation, and there was a whole lot of things. And white people, they ruled, and they did what they want, and we were segregated. That's the dog whistle in that. And do you want to go back to that? That's them dog whistles.
And that's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off about the Democrat, because that's the most racist political slogan anybody can use. And the Democrats ain't figured out a way to tell America that is a racist political slogan. Anybody with common sense know that it's a racist political slogan. And you're right, it is a dog whistle, but they should be able to articulate how racist that dog whistle is.
But they don't. Because you want to know what? Probably a lot of them go along with it too.
Oh yeah, you got a point there. That's a good point.
So a lot of them probably go along with it too in silence. But that's a dog whistle. And when I hear black people, when I see black people with a MAGA hat on, hey, y'all need to ask these people, what time in history are they talking about make America great again? What time in history are they talking about? And once you get them to narrow that down, they have a time frame for it. What was going on with your folks? You in segregation, dog. That's the heart of Jim Crow. What is wrong with you? That's a dog whistle that you done fell into. And back during a time when women didn't have much rights, and they were fighting to get rights. That's why I don't see why any woman of any color, of any race, ethnicity can go along with that. Women didn't have a lot of rights during that time. Everything was, guess what? That white man was reigning, and he still is reigning supreme, but he was really doing the thing. And nobody else, and now that there's more diversity and more people are able to do things, and more people are able to challenge the status quo, they got a crack in the ceiling, the glass ceiling, and they want to take us back to that. And you people are stupid. going along with that, and some evangelical foolishness mixed up in that too.
Well, yeah, and Kamala Harris is scaring the hell out of this country. I know that she ain't getting a
Yeah.
lot. She ain't getting a lot of play, but that is something that these people are scared of. That lady is too close to the presidency. Who is this unknown caller?
Yeah, hey, I think you guys are missing something, a big piece of what the appeal is.
Drop
Okay,
it,
go ahead.
Joe.
Okay, so they want to return to America that made sense to Middle America, meaning that you know Dick worked at the plant his whole life and got a gold watch at the end, and was able to afford a home. You know, where Bobby was a Boy Scout and Sally was a Girl Scout, and they sold cookies and went on camping trips, and you know it was an insulated environment. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I gotta mute a second. It's gonna get noisy. Hang on.
Okay,
And
yeah,
they
but I
could
think
pay
he's
you.
saying something similar to
Hold
what
on.
Alicia
Yeah.
said. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but like I said, in America that made sense. America that was very simple, you know, in those times. And so they want to return to that where, you know, the local plant keeps you employed for the, you know, the bulk of your life, you know, but they're living in America, particularly Middle America, where that local plant closed and moved to Mexico, where they're seeing strange faces and strange people speaking strange languages in their town now. It isn't just them. It isn't people like us, so to speak, you know, where increasingly the world is getting far more complex in terms of people making gender choices, people making lifestyle choices that were distant. That was something the folks in the big cities did, not folks in, you know, Des Moines, Idaho, Spokane, Washington, you know, those little places in Wyoming. So they're looking for an America that made sense, and Trump is selling it to them, as well as some of the other candidates. But if you think about it, this is why Vivek Ramaswamy is not really making headway. He's that slick person. Different.
Right, he's talking that white shit, but he's Indian.
He's Indian. He ain't. He's a fool.
They're like, but we like what you're saying, but you're Indian. We're not voting for you.
Yeah, look what Fox News did. What Fox News did to that guy when they seen that he went up 1 point in the poll. Sean Hannity put the fangs out and he started tearing his ass down. He said, Yep, it sure did.
Yeah, it's like that scene in
right.
Yeah, hang on, real quick. It's like that scene in Lethal Weapon when Danny Glover said, "I'd like to go to South Africa," and the guy said, "But you are black." You know, it's kind of like that. You know, in that you know, surprise, you may say the right things, but you that slick other dude that we don't trust. You know, because you're not from Middle America.
It's like your boy Tim Scott. Why he left? He wasn't gonna get in. He already knew. I think he felt that shit.
He went and got a whole fake girlfriend. He went and got a whole fake girlfriend to please these people.
No.
You gotta make
Joe
it as
is
right
right.
as possible.
He's
right.
No,
he hit it right on the head. I believe that.
He's right on the head with that. No,
you know, there was a video. I don't know. It's not on the History Channel. We have like a local History Channel on every local channel, right? And it's not the History Channel, the cable, but there was a History Channel a show where they show like America, what it was supposed to look like is a black and white, and they show a family like what he said. Timmy comes home. The dad, you know, the highway. They showing the highways that it was made. They showing the house. The White House, the mother makes food in the kitchen.
Right.
And you see, you know, he comes home from school, it says hi. The dad comes home. It's like a really broken down what America's supposed to look like, you know, with the automotive and all this crazy shit. And that's exactly, I think, what Joe's talking about. Like, that was the description they were trying to
like
give
that nuclear family fantasy that ABC keeps wanting.
And all the homes look a cookie cutter home.
Yeah.
And the one thing,
Stepford Wives.
I do envy. It was a husband. He was working at the plant. He had a wife and 3 children. He could pay for a home. They could have. I can think of.
He had it
they
set
could have
up
a
for
car.
him that way.
Yes. They had a car, an Edsel, parked out in the garage, and he could send his children to college too. He could pay for it.
Yeah.
He could pay for it.
But it's the corporations. It's the corporations that fucked that lifestyle up because of the price of living went up because they are the one that's taking away the money from the middle class by not paying them a living wage and all that kind of stuff. And outsourcing jobs.
Yeah. 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 And
So
they want
this is
that
the whole,
back.
this is the whole of ABC and Charges argument. The world has changed around them, but they still want to hold on to that model in their mind because that's the one they spent the most time in growing up, and they're not willing to accept that the world has changed, and so they fight against that change in every way, shape, or form because they don't understand it, and they cannot accept it because they don't understand it. Without realizing, like, the world's going to change whether you like it or not. And so,
Yeah.
it doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to the people that are out there actively changing it. And you don't have to
Yeah.
like them, but you have to accept the fact that it is changing. You are stuck in your ways. And so this is why ABC gets on every Saturday, the same shit over and over and over, because he's a guy that got left behind. The world that he knew, the guy that he is, he can't do that anymore. He's a dinosaur. He's an exhibit in a fucking museum, and it bothers him. It bothers Sarge too. That's why they're so vocal about
And Joe, you know something like the okay, use the world, but I'll just keep it in the United States. We should have been off of fossil fuel, right?
Right.
And Joe Biden, they were talking about giving people tax incentives and stuff like that to move into electric cars and things like that. It's another thing that the people are fighting. They don't want to let that go. They don't want to let that go. And the technology has been there, but they've held us back on fossil fuel and gas. But then you look in the Middle East, like those countries and stuff. You have Dubai and the Saudis and Iran and Dakar and all of those. They're trying to find They're trying to find alternate ways of making of so that countries can be prosperous moving forward. Because I was I was reading something, and they were saying by 2030, 34, oil is not going to be what it needs to be, because we should have been off of that anyway. So they're trying to do other things because they're going to know oil ain't going to do it for them no more. We should have been off of it. That's a path that a lot of people, and they were mad at the tax incentives that the world, we've held it back long enough, but the world is going to eventually make its way off of fossil fuel. We can't keep it stalled too much longer. And they want to go back to that. They want to stay there. They don't want to move forward. And the stupid thing is, a lot of them people are going to be dead by the time we get to when we get there. And Joe is absolutely right. The world is changing. It is what it is. It's going to change. It is supposed to change.
Yeah, that's a corporation trying to profit off of fossil fuels, and there's no way that they can make the same kind of money off of the green energy. So you talking about legacy money just vanishing pretty much if they didn't go if they went away from fossil fuel.
Well, I think though Pete Buttigieg had the right attitude. He's like, look, it's not a matter of if we're going to move to green energy. Right. It's a matter of, do you want to be a leader in that when it happens? Right. The world is moving that way. Now we can act like it doesn't exist. Yeah. We can act like it doesn't exist. We can say, oh, blah, 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 blah. But somebody else will take leadership on that, and then we'll bitch and moan about that. Better to go ahead and push forward and be the world leader in it. The technology and the delivery and the hardware to make it happen, than I guess you could say hold back and then have to rely on Japan or China for the equipment and the technology to take advantage of it.
I always bring to Sarge the time of when they had the wagon with the horse, right? And at one time there was no motor. And then when they presented, they said, oh, well, now we got this vehicle that can actually turn on. We don't need a horse to pull us because we have this engine. I'm pretty sure there was people pushing back then, like, what is this? No, we want to use the wagon. But eventually they all transition, or most transition, into a car or motor vehicle, and they found a better technology. Say, oh, you know what? We could use this better. It goes faster. Oh, we don't need to use the horse for this. Just different things and I know that at that time, I'm pretty sure that they had some pushback and people were arguing. But guess what? Eventually, They had a gas guzzling car. And people. The only ones that stay like that are the Amish and people that are really traditional in their ways, which they are. But for the most part, people have vehicles. Even sometimes, if you think in the jungles of South America and Africa and everywhere, they got a car too. Let's not play that game and say, oh, everybody's walking or using a wagon with a horse. No, they even transition. There's somebody from the town, the village, that got a vehicle, and his ass is going and picking up things in that car. I'm just saying.
A good example is when we moved from VHS to DVD, and people was pushing back at that. And I think we were live then. I was young. I was a kid. But I remember there was pushback from the VHS is better, and it is that. And what happened? It became obsolete.
Right.
And people moved on to it. From the VHS player to the DVD player. And now the DVD is becoming obsolete. So, CDs and DVDs. So, it's people trying to hold back. I get it. Simple as time. And that's what they're used to. Joe, you did that. That's exactly right. That's a big part of it. Extremely big part of it. So, we just have to see. I'm scared. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's why I want this Israeli and Gaza slaughter. I'm hoping that they could come to something. It's not going to, something. So people's minds can kind of get off of that, and not off of it, you see what I'm saying, but put more energy on what's going on, because we have a major election coming up here soon. And I think people's minds needs to be on that a little bit more. So that's what I'm hoping. So it's a mess. But a lot of people were happy that Henry Kissinger died yesterday. So
well, I'm happy now that I found out more. I'm happy now that I found out more about him.
Yeah, they said he was upside down. They said, he killed those people in Cambodia or had something to do with it, and he was just a mess, a big mess. They say as much as they say he was good, he was not. He had his bad side. Let's say
So that brought people a lot of joy, a lot of people when they heard that yesterday. So I was like, well, we'll see how things is going. And Rosa Carter died,
Yeah.
So.
I think that's an underrated presidential family.
What?
I think that they were smeared.
They kept it low. They had low, do the work, keep it moving.
I think they smeared that guy to a point to where they tried to ruin his reputation. I like Jimmy Carter.
He wasn't the best president. He wasn't the best president, but he was an extraordinary ex-president.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be his legacy. That is his legacy. He was an extraordinary
Well, I think the big thing that was over his head was that Iran thing. That was like the biggest thing, and it was something that happened prior to him that basically he took it on, and I mean he's left with that stain, if you want to say. That big Iran thing was, I think, one of the highlights of his negative career and what they say and why. What was it? I don't know if he ran again, and then Ronald Reagan won.
Ronald Reagan won. Yeah, it was a landslide.
82.
But I don't know what year it is, but I know it was a landslide. I wasn't.
Yeah, but times wasn't so good back then either. Things wasn't so good back then, for what I know. I heard
for a lot of people. From what I heard, that was just not my era. But it wasn't that great. I talked to my mom and them about it. But he's an extraordinary ex-president. So that's his legacy. That will be his legacy. And we just have to see what history does for Barack and them. They what his and W, his is already formulating that his presidency was a hot mess. We just have to see.
We can't forget that his mess, that mess of the two wars,
death.
He I mean.
Well, I didn't think that there would be a worse president than President Bush, but Trump came along, and I was like, damn, we done forgot how terrible George Bush was.
But I never thought Republicans would love anybody more than Ronald Reagan.
Right.
I never thought that could be possible, that they would love anybody more, because they said he was the greatest to ever do it.
And they lying when they say that with Ronald Reagan, because of Oliver North and the you know, and
all that.
Yeah.
Plus, just like the '80s, going back to Jimmy Carter, the whole '80s was just the way it was when Jimmy Carter was around. So the '80s went throughout the whole decade of the '80s. I don't know, there was some improvement, but I would say the '80s was an era that I seen that really stood still in time, and as far as progress, you didn't really see it visually. Progress. There was a lot of poverty. You could see poverty visually in the streets. You could see how the buildings and houses looked like they was just letting shit just, deteriorate. And then in the 90s, it started rising a little bit after Bush, maybe before somewhat. But Bill Clinton, you started seeing they had some type of program where they started rebuilding all the ghettos.
Listen, Bill Clinton got lucky. Bill Clinton got lucky in his presidency because that was the technological boom age. Microsoft and the computers came onto the scene, and that stuff just took off.
Yeah. So, and he paid off the debt. So, I mean, Bill Clinton, you can't really, but he had a lot of scandal. But scandal aside, he wasn't a bad president. So, there was a lot of fluff in the 80s. A lot of fluff, but it was all going to tumble down. And it was a lot of fluff in the 80s because Ronald Reagan was all fluff with his trickle-down economics.
Right.
But
I don't see how people fell for that shit. I don't. That don't even sound right.
I don't know how they fell for it either. It was before my time, but after I was an adult and we studied that, how did y'all fall for that trickle-down economics? They sure fooled y'all with that.
Yeah, I think that was the hippie era. They got all the hippies that were still in the cloud now in the 70s. They got them. Like I said.
Well, Sarge still say trickle down work. I don't know how the hell he can be that damn stupid.
I don't know how it made the wealth gap even further apart. I just don't know how people bought that trickle down economics. I just don't know how they bought that, but they did. In the same way, just like they buying Trump, and we'll take America back to an era that it's not going back to. We're not going back to that. Mm-hmm. Just like he was lied to them, but like I said, the clean code. We're going to do clean code. And they bought that. They bought it. They believed it. So, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but we shall see. We shall see.
Well, look, guys.
Just hope I
got to get off.
I'm getting ready to go too.
And look, what I'll do is I'll leave the stream up for you guys to call in to the conference call. But YouTube won't get ready to shut y'all down. I appreciate everybody that called in. And y'all continue to enjoy your holidays. Miss Lisa, thank you, Jay and Joe, for calling in.
No, Jay, Joe, everybody. Yeah, happy for who all celebrate. Happy holidays. Yeah. And I guess we'll speak next week.
Yeah. I'll do that next week. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah,
all right. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Good night.
Q&A session is over. All participants